engineers. Once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Rensselaer in Houston Fieldhouse, home of the Engineers, for tonight's ECAC matchup between Dartmouth and your Rensselaer Engineers. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, the visitors from Dartmouth, starting in the goal, number 33, Devin Buffalo. On defense is number 3, Josh Hartley. And at right defense, number 22, Ryan Bullock. The starting forward line for Dartmouth at left wing, number 25, Brad Shearhorn. At center is number 13, Brett Patterson. And at right wing for Dartmouth, number 14, Grant Opperman. The head coach of Dartmouth is Bob Gardette. Please welcome the rest of the team. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Engineers of RPI. Brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. Let's lead them out with the junior engineer. Please welcome Tommy Blyle. Starting in the goal, a freshman from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, number 1, Cam Hackett. On defense, a senior from Williamsville, New York, number 24, Chris Bradley. At right defense, he's a sophomore from Oakville, Ontario, number 19, Mike Prepovesis. The starting forward line for the Engineers at left wing, a sophomore from Stockholm, Sweden, number 12, Victor Liljegren. At center, a senior from Banska Bystrica, Slovakia, number 17, Milos Bubela. And at right wing, a freshman from Miami, Florida, number 39, Alex Rodriguez. The rest of the Engineers, their head coach is Seth Appert. Assistant coaches are Brian Vines and Nolan Graham. We ask that you please rise as the RPI Pep Band will play the national anthems of Canada and the United States of America.
down the Big Green.
It's hard to really tell how good this team is. As a reminder, you are listening to live coverage of RPI Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Tom, it's hard to really tell how good this team is. They played probably the toughest schedule of all of college hockey coming into tonight's game.
Yeah, it's certainly one of the most difficult, if not the most difficult. They have lost 2 games 7-0, but they were to Harvard and Michigan, so it's a little bit understandable there.
Don't want to lose 7-0 to anybody. We are underway here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Engineers skating from right to left, and it's a quick touch pass from Milos Babella. It's broken up. Engineers have to go back to their own end and play. It's the captain, Chris Bradley, far side for Alex Rodriguez on the top line this evening. Shielding the puck in the offensive zone. Babella centering pass all the way through to the point of Bradley. A wrister went wide, and not seeing it on its way through. It came all the way out of the zone. That's Devin Buffalo in there. And goal is a puck tipped on goal by an Engineer's stick, and needing to be there to make the stop was Hackett. Puck back out to center, chopped back into RPI territory, spinning wide of goal. Hackett can't control it, goes into the near corner. Out of the zone comes Bradley, ahead for Melanson, and it's taken over by the Big Green in their own end. They'll go D-to-D there. Tim Shoup will just shoot it into the RPI zone. It'll ring around to the near side. Offside are the Big Green, into the late offside whistle will go. We're 51 seconds in, no score here, RPI and Dartmouth.
Perry, as you mentioned, in net for Dartmouth, making just his second collegiate start is Dartmouth sophomore Devin Buffalo, the native of Wetaskiwin, Alberta, which, if you're a longtime RPI fan, will remember is the hometown of former engineer Alan York, also a goaltender. He comes into tonight's contest with a 0-0-1 record and a 190 goals against average, his last game coming against Michigan.
Yeah, he got the tie at Michigan after the Big Green lost 7-0. There's a puck out in front, and the toe save made by Hackett. A big one early, as driving the front of the net there was Nick Bly, tied for the team lead with 4 goals, and he nearly had his 5th if Hackett doesn't stick out that left leg. Engineers have had good starts throughout their 9-game unbeaten streak. But right now it's Dartmouth with the better of the chances early on in this one. We're just a minute and a half in. Miller tripped up, is on his way into the Dartmouth zone. We play on. Shot ahead right back to Miller. He'll take a wrist shot, and a blocker save is made. It'll come down off the glass in the near corner. Riley Bourbonnais relegated, if you can say that, to the third line. Driving around to the far side. He'll take a look around, carries it all the way to the far point. Stops there. He'll flick it in deep. Looking for Nanny. Nanny even further down low for Schrader to the near corner. Schrader, he'll cycle. Lots of room for Mears Moore, the defenseman and freshman, on the attack here. Trying to play it out in front, trying to find Wood. It's deflected out to center. Race for the puck in the RPI zone. Pick it up, Phil Hampton, the senior defenseman from Oakville, Ontario. Played at the far boards, controlled there by Jeff Ferguson, assistant captain and senior from Canada, Ontario. Loose puck along the far wall. Bourbonnais has it there. Tries to walk into the circle with it. He'll carry down low. He's roughed up there by Ferguson. Picked up on the near side by Karn Tour, and moved out to center on the carry. Played up the wall and in deep. This will be icing here on Dartmouth, as it was Ferguson who did not cross the line.
Well, Perry, you say Riley Bourbonnais relegated, as it were, to the third line, but the Engineers are really rolling 3 pretty quality forward lines here this evening, between the M&M line, which has been strong really all year and was very strong last year too. You also have that third line of Riley Bourbonnais, who's RPI's leading scorer, with Zach Schrader, a 5th-year senior, and Jake Wood, who's had a tremendous start to his season as well. So that third line really can do some damage potentially. Shot and a save, excuse me. As we'll have a stoppage, another stop there by Buffalo. And then RPI's top line, at least on the line chart, Victor Liljegren is paired off with Milos Bubella and Alex Rodriguez. That's a pretty quality line as well. Liljegren off to a little bit of a slow start so far this season, but he's shown his bona fides. Bubella, obviously a senior leader, and Alex Rodriguez has had a tremendous start to his collegiate career. So RPI really rolling 3 decent lines as we head out of the face-off. Puck ends up down in the RPI zone. Comes up to Orval, but Dartmouth is able to keep it in. Collected again by Jesper Orval. He's finally able to get it out into the neutral zone, where it's picked up by Dartmouth. Big Green now trying to move back with it in the face of some forechecking pressure from Kenny Gillespie. Gillespie tries to take his player down. I think he's going to get called for a hook here, as Bullock tried to keep the puck away from Gillespie, and the penalty is going to be on RPI, a tripping call. I don't know about that one, as Bullock didn't ever actually end up going down. Was probably more of a hook, but it's a penalty for Kenny Gillespie either way, so it is going to be a power play opportunity for the Dartmouth Big Green. Their power play so far this season, just 2 for 24, 8.3%. Engineers on the penalty kill, 84.5%, 60 for 71 on the season. As the face-off in the Engineers zone is won by Dartmouth. And a pass through the crease ends up back up at the point, where it's taken over by the Big Green. Along the far boards, it's a pass across for Opperman, but it's picked up by the Engineers and sent out of the zone.
Thank you, Tom. RPI on the kill. 16:30 left in the first period, no score here. RPI doing a pretty good job on the penalty kill so far this year at nearly 85%. As the puck is bouncing in the far corner of the Engineers zone, trying to clear it out is Bourbonnais all the way down. They're taken over there by the Big Green. They'll skate it down the middle of the ice. Fed near side for Bly, poked free by Wood, right back to Patterson. He'll shoot it back into the RPI zone, no icing here. Prapavestis controls behind his own goal. Up the wall and out to center. Hartley has it there. That's Josh Hartley, 16 blocks, leads the team. Maybe looking to get something going offensively. He has a goal in 8 games. It's cleared down again by RPI. Dartmouth really not establishing much here on this power play, as they'll start things down the middle. Bullock far side, Hartley across the line. It's Kalk and they're offside. Face-off coming outside the zone.
Dartmouth's power play not terribly high-powered coming into this one. They've only converted twice on the power play this season. And so far here tonight, not much going for them to start off their first power play of the evening, as they only have 38 seconds remaining on the penalty to Gillespie. No score with 15:31 left in the first period.
Draw here outside the RPI zone. And shot down, a chance shorthanded for Rubella, and he fires wide into the near corner. Schrader, he's tied up there by Jacek. Now Schrader pulls it out of the corner to the point. A shot by Wilson. Glove save. Rebound loose. Put off the side of the net by Bubella. Looking for his 3rd shorthanded goal, and he nearly had it. He just missed from close range after the Engineers put on some pressure shorthanded. 3 shorthanded goals for the season for RPI. It's tied for 3rd in the country. You hear the fans counting down. The penalty is over, but still in the attack of the Big Green. Wrist shot, Hartley. A save made up hit Wilson on its way through, and the Engineers will carry out to center ice. Here comes Lou Nanny on the move. Fed in front for Melanson. A shot from Miller and skipped right by him to the corner. Jumping on it is Nanny. Played it back to Melanson. Fed to the far point. Shot coming, blocked away, and the try by Hampton. And it'll be caught in the air, hits the scoreboard, and that'll draw a whistle. 14:28 to go in period number 1. The Engineers kill off the first penalty of this game.
Milos Bubella real close. He's only got 2 goals this season, and they're both shorthanded. Nearly made a 3rd shorthanded goal there during that penalty kill. Buffalo was trying to corral the puck into his glove, but it ended up bouncing down to the ice, and I think both of them were a little bit shocked to see it. Bubella would have had a goal there if he hadn't been back-checked by Bullock right at the last second. So a good move there by the Big Green to help out their goaltender.
Shot through traffic, skips wide of goal. Carried out by Connor Yao. And it's knocked down. Yao will spin back towards his own end and hand it off for Shoop. Shoop to center ice for Neely. Neely through the middle, and Barry's going to pick it up here. Barry, it's Jack Barry, 4 goals and an assist for 5 points for the senior from Fairfield, Connecticut. He's down low, lost it, taken away by Bubella. Out to the neutral zone for Victor Liljegren. He'll cross center. 3 Engineers hit the blue line. Liljegren will carry into the near corner. And he'll continue to work it all the way to the far side on the skate. A bad pass intercepted and carried out to center ice by Kevin Neely. And he'll like to just fire in from center. Hackett will hold it there as he had another Big Green skater. That was Nick Bly right in his face.
Kind of a missed opportunity for RPI. I think the errant pass was meant for Alex Rodriguez, but Rodriguez was a little too far down in the slot to receive it and ended up becoming a turnover. Sometimes you see that when teammates are playing together on the line for the first time in a game situation, but expect those to kind of tighten up as the game gets a little on.
Faceoff was one back towards Hackett. He elects to just play it around to the corner. Engineers cleared out to center ice, and it's controlled by Alex Jacek for Dartmouth. Here's Tour up the near wall. A little bit too far for the intended target, Tim O'Brien. Engineers take over behind their own goal. It's Parker Reno, 7 assists on the season for the junior. Reno, second to fellow blue liner Mike Prapavesis in that department. Reno skating out from behind his own goal. Try the near side. Not a lot of options there. Now Schrader gets dumped by Bly. Fans want to call, not going to get it. Puck in the zone. Backing up, back checking, I should say, is Wood. And the Engineers win it back again. Here's Bourbonnais on the move into the offensive zone. Takes a hit, lost the puck. Wood jumps on at the near corner. Trying to hand it off for Bourbonnais. Bourbonnais trying to escape behind that. He's being watched there. Play it back to the point. Wrist shot coming. Save made and is held onto by Buffalo. Didn't know if he realized it was right in his glove, but he was able to snag it for the whistle.
It was definitely bouncing around on him. It hit the top of his pad and kind of bounced up and into his glove. So a little bit shaky early on is Devin Buffalo, but he's getting the bounces to go pretty much where he needs them to go ultimately to get whistles. 12:44 left in the first period. Still no score here from Houston Fieldhouse between RPI and Dartmouth.
One back to the point. Shot coming. It was blocked in front by bodies and moved out to center. Here comes Shearhorn with speed. Brad Shearhorn into the offensive zone. He gets bumped by Hampton, lost the puck. Played around to the far side by Moore, and now chopped out to center. Miller has a man breaking. It's Melanson. They're onside into the zone. Melanson far side, stops at the circle there. Melanson holding back to the point, to the blue line, drops it neatly for Prapavesis. Fed far side, Shearhorn nearly picked it off. It's controlled now by Hartley. Has a man breaking, it's Opperman. Opperman up the far boards. Not a good angle, he'll pull it back and take a shot anyway, saved by Hackett. And the puck pops free towards the point and helped on further by Prapavesis, although it's taken over by the Big Green there, right in front of the Dartmouth bench area. And back to help out is Drew Melanson. Melanson will just ring it in, near side. Karam's off the backboards, played by Shoop around to the far side wall. Carried to center. This is Kyle Nickerson to the RPI line. He'll dump it in. Reno trying to help it up the near boards. Takes a hit. Puck trickles into the near corner. Played even further to the far side now. And it's Nickerson again. Hands it off for Troy Crema. Playing some of the best hockey of any of these Dartmouth Big Green players is Crema. A goal and 5 assists. He's also a +3. That's best on the team. Far corner now. Bradley trying to work it free. Taken over by Kalk. Kalk centering. Intercepted nicely. And moved out by Jesper Orval. We have a whistle here. And it may be a penalty. Oh, there's the net off. The net's just off. I beg your pardon. 11:16 to go in the first period. No score, RPI and Dartmouth.
It's a bad break for RPI because they had the puck and were moving out of the zone with it. And we've seen what they can do on the counterattack when they're bringing the puck out of the zone instead of trying to just push it out. But the faceoff ends up back in the RPI zone because the net came dislodged. 11:16 left in the first period. No score from Houston Fieldhouse.
Draw coming here. Far side of the RPI zone. Played behind by Parker Reno to the near side half wall for the freshman Jesper Orval. He does enough to clear it to center. Tour plays it there, across for Ferguson, neutral zone. Tipped into the RPI end of the ice, and the Engineers will trace it down. It's Chris Bradley, the senior, on the puck now from Williamsville, New York. 38 blocks on the season for Chris Bradley. That's 4th best in the country. Up the near wall, Reno helped into the zone by Orval. Buffalo behind his own net. He'll leave it there for Ferguson, who takes a hit from Babella. Played up the far side, too far for the intended target. That was Kalk. And now carried on further by Hessler. Carl Hessler, RPI zone. Shot comes, and Tommy Grant takes a tumble, and we have a stoppage in play.
10:34 remaining in the first period. Still no score from the beautiful Houston Fieldhouse, or the score is 0-0, depending on your outlook on things, I suppose. Basically, early in this game, Dartmouth has shown really more of the initiative than the Engineers, and it's going to be incumbent on RPI to kind of change the flow of possession in this one.
Face-off one here at center ice. Bullock shoots it in from center. Just sits there. Hackett did not do a great job with that rebound, but he gets some help from Tommy Grant to steer it to the corner. Roughed up in the corner. We get some pushing and shoving. Coming up on the halfway point of the first period, we are still scoreless from the Houston Fieldhouse. Shot ahead, nice outlook pass for Babella. Can't quite handle it, but he works into the offensive zone. Chopped out of there by Barry. Liljegren knocked it down. Barry does pick it up again and fires it across ice. Hampton trying to move it out of the zone. Shot back in softly by Hessler. Controlled again by Hampton. He'll stick handle near side, finding Mears Moore into the offensive zone. Moore making a move to the corner now. Moore down low takes a hit. Rodriguez tried to find it. It hit the referee down there, but Rodriguez is able to jump back on it. Trying to work off the boards. Moore lost it. O'Brien back the other way for Dartmouth all by himself. Takes a whack on the leg from Moore. His cross-ice feed to the puck is played by Hampton off the wall. Schrader trying to move it further. It's broken up there. Tied up behind the goal to the near side. Bly. Centering pass broken up. Another chance there was Tim O'Brien waiting in the middle. Couldn't get to the puck, and now a loose puck offside as it's touched by Bourbonnais. Don't think they're going to call it intentional. It was a close play at the line.
Still some more work needing to be done if you're the Engineers, and really it's got to come back to basics. They've had opportunities here in the first 10 minutes of this game to do what's worked for them in the past, and that's really get the opportunity to jump on pucks, counterattack, and turn fast play into odd man rushes. But haven't really seen an awful lot of emphasis on moving the puck through the neutral zone, and that's pretty key to that game plan.
Draw at center ice, won by the Big Green once again. They do a very good job from the circle. 56% as a team. The Big Green, RPI under 50% as a puck comes bouncing towards the RPI bench. Melanson trying to control, can't do so. Throws a hit to Brett Patterson. Patterson wins it back through his own legs nicely for Opperman. He'll just dump it into the far corner. And we get a no, we play on. Prabavessis thought we were going to get a whistle. No, Prabavessis tied up by Opperman, stolen away by Shearhorn, looking to center all the way through, chopped just wide. Joining the play was Tim Shoup, who was all the way between the hash marks when he got that shot off, trickled wide of the goal. Nanny pokes it out to center. Helped over for Melanson, shot back the other way, touch to the far side. Shearhorn will just move it in deep. Chris Bradley picks it up there, shielding it away from Patterson. Finds Miller, who's out to center. Near side, Melanson runs into a body and just gets it into the zone. Controlled there by Nickerson. Nickerson off the backboards, finding Ferguson. Ferguson stick handling towards center. He'll play it softly down the middle of the ice, but it will be icing as it had enough on it to make it all the way down.
Looking at the top line for the Big Green here this evening, Jack Barry with Carl Hessler and Kevin Neely, really the top trio. Neely doesn't have any points yet this season. In fact, he doesn't have any points yet in his collegiate career, only playing in his 9th game. But Hessler with 2 goals this year, Barry with 4. Some of the best options that the Big Green have on offense.
Shot around to the near boards. Rodriguez throws a shoulder into Tour. Shot comes from the point, Wilson, and it was turned away by Buffalo. Engineers continue to put the pressure on in the offensive end. Poked past Reno, who was pinching. And the Engineers have it in their own zone. Milos Fabella comes back to help out. He'll now carry down the middle. Fed near side, intercepted by Troy Crema. Up ahead, into the zone. Kalk walking right in. Wraps all the way around. Centering pass blocked away. Nets off. And I'm not sure who that hit on its way. But the Engineers got back in a hurry after a poor pass by Milos Fabella turned into a scoring chance for the Big Green.
It had to have been either Wilson or Bubella who got in the way of that one, because I don't think Hackett got back there in time to make that stop. But Milos Bubella's got to do a better job of distributing the puck in the neutral zone, because it was kind of a lackadaisical pass that allowed that to turn into an opportunity for Dartmouth, and it was probably the best opportunity that either team has had in the entire game.
Draw coming here, and they're going to have some issue here, I believe, with this net, which is still not back on its pegs. I think they're calling for the drill, which will give us a bit of a break here. 7:50 to go in the first period. No score here between RPI and Dartmouth.
Have we seen the drill this year?
I don't think so.
The drill guy is kind of is something of a cult hero in the RPI student section.
Shots are 6-6 as well.
I'm a little bit shocked that we haven't heard a more raucous greeting for the ubiquitous drill guy. And now here it comes as the fans realize that their hero has arrived.
Looks like a younger, more spry drill guy today.
Yeah, it's usually an older gentleman. This is someone's been called up from the minors, perhaps.
I think that the torch may have been passed. We probably need to get confirmation of that before we just write him off, because he could just be off today and we don't know.
That is possible. It could be a closer manning the drill for RPI. It is kind of quirky and kind of speaks very much to the I guess mentality of the average RPI student hockey fan. That the guy who comes out and runs the drill at Houston Fieldhouse is typically subject to a standing ovation, and as he walks off past the RPI bench, he is receiving one now. He's actually coming off at the bench in order to get off the ice.
See, he's not quite playing it up like the older gentleman did. He'd walk all the way back to the Zamboni door, which is at the opposite end.
Pump his arms in the air. You know, it's
prestigious.
It's an RPI hockey thing for sure.
Engineers get it in deep after they win the defensive zone draw. Rodriguez is tied up in the corner. And now Liljegren tries to peel it out of there. Liljegren back to the point with it. Pressure comes, throws it down the middle. Deflects to the near corner. Crema leaves it there, runs into Rodriguez. Benefits the Big Green as it allows a teammate to get to the puck. Although a chance to put line, Rodriguez found it on the doorstep. He'll wing it in front, knocked down nicely by Moore. Cross-ice feed intercepted and carried out to center ice. Called far side for Troy Crema into the zone. Try to pull it back, drop it off Nickerson. A shot, pad save, rebound poked away, back into trouble, and then just clear it towards the point again. A shot by Shoup is blocked out to center ice. Rodriguez trying to jump on it. Linesman in the way. Fans don't like that, but he was just doing his job over there. They didn't realize the puck was there. Now Hampton feeds Moore near side into the zone. Easy stop by Buffalo. He's seen enough. He wants a whistle. 6:50 to go in the first. Shots are 7-7. No score.
Great opportunity for Alex Rodriguez, who just kind of ended up with the puck on his stick directly in front of the crease. Sometimes that's not a good place to just suddenly end up with the puck because you don't have any room to really maneuver and you just got to do something with it. And his eyes might have gotten a little bit big and he just barely put it wide even though he had a little bit of the net to shoot at.
Draw coming here in the zone. Moved out to center ice by Barry. He'll play it down low. Behind the net, Prapavessis one-hands it to the far corner. Into the middle, shooting and a goal. A shot by Carl Hessler, his third of the year. It's 1-0 Dartmouth almost from nowhere. Hackett was beat apparently short side.
Yeah, puck stayed on the ice pretty much the whole time, I believe, and that was all she wrote. Got through a little bit of traffic, and it just beats RPI freshman Cam Hackett to his stick side on the ice, and it's 1-0 Dartmouth. And that was pretty much going to happen the way things were going. Dartmouth was controlling play, they were controlling possession, and when you do that, you're more likely to score the first goal.
1-0 Dartmouth leading here for the second straight game now. The Engineers have given up the first goal. Of course, they gave up all 4 to Harvard last time out. 6:22 to go in the first period. Miller hands it off from Melanson, gaining speed into the offensive zone. Melanson down low with it. Carries behind, around Shoup. Trying to elude the Dartmouth defenseman. Kicks it to himself in the corner, far side. Now played towards the point, kept in by Reno. Reno gets dropped there, towards the point. Thinking about pinching there was Nanny, who was playing defense, and now he'll have to skate back as the Big Greener into the offensive end. Fed along, near side, pull it back, take a shot, deflected, thrown towards goal again. That was blocked, kept in there. Tour a shot, that one's blocked by Wilson. He'll play it down low. And now another centering pass off a skate, comes trickling in on Hackett. And he'll cover up there. It was Nick Bly who was being played in front of the net and not allowed him to get a good shot off.
First goal of the evening, an even strength goal at 13:25 the first period. Scored by Carl Hessler, a sophomore out of Boxborough, Massachusetts, with his third goal of the 2015-2016 campaign. There aren't any assists added just yet, but I'm sure that they'll be tacked on momentarily.
Engineers get a defensive zone face-off win, shoot off the far boards. It's swatted back out to center. Chris Bradley claims it for RPI. Behind the goal for Prapavessis, using the net as a screen to get away from Opperman. He'll play it far side for Schrader. Down the middle, tapped into the offensive zone by Bourbonnais. Jake Wood, the first one there. He gets tripped up on his way to the near corner. As they continue to do battle there, Ferguson just shoving Wood to the ice here. Puck's underneath him. Prapavessis pinching up the boards, can't control. Kept in for a moment by Schrader. Now Opperman's going to break. Little home run pass looking for Opperman, trickling in on goal, covered by the mitt of Hackett.
Well, we're seeing from Dartmouth here a lot of what we're expecting to usually see from the Engineers. A lot of speed, creating odd man rushes, and from RPI, it's just they've not been overly careful with the puck when they're in the neutral zone or in the attacking zone, and they've paid for it by turning it over too many times already here in the first period. We're just 15 minutes into this one, 59 left in the first period. Dartmouth with a 1-0 lead.
Draw here. Bubella has it, and he will skate it on out to center ice. Milos Bubella on the move. Near side, he'll take the long way around the goal. Still going, Babella to the far side circle, all the way to the point, and he'll just bring it back down low for Rodriguez. Helped on further for Liljegren in the near corner. Liljegren lost an edge, jumps back up, puck played to the far side corner, nobody home. Liljegren's going to be the first one to it there. Liljegren looking to pin it against the boards, has Babella with him now. The man between both of them is the puck underneath him. That's Ryan Bullock. Puck popped in the air to the corner again. It'll get played around to the near side for Josh Hartley. Hartley ahead for Shearhorn. He absorbs a hit and plays it to the far side of the RPI zone where Parkerino has it. Tipped along by a teammate. And the Big Green take over in their own zone. Hartley again. Far side for Bullock. Engineers have a man offside. And he touches up. Puck back out at center anyway. Chipped into the Dartmouth zone. Glove down by Bullock. He plays it near side for Hartley. Hartley off the near wall. Broken up there. The big hit was thrown by Miller. Melanson jumping in the attack here. He's taken down centering pass. One-timer put over the top by Nanny. Open in the slot was Lou Nanny. It was a great play all around by the M&M line. Just no finish. Back comes Nickerson for Dartmouth. Into the offensive end. Has Kalk with him. Shot goes wide. Caroms all the way around to the near side circle where it's played high off the glass and not off the glass at all, in fact. And out of play by Melanson.
Well, so far here tonight, we've seen Chris Bradley, we've seen Alex Rodriguez, and now Drew Melanson putting the puck over the net on an opportunity to score. So the Engineers have certainly had their chances here in the first period, as sloppy as they've played, but they still trail 1-0 with 3:29 left in the first period. Assists on the goal by Hessler are from his line mates. Kevin Neely, that's his first collegiate point, and Jack Barry with his second assist of the season.
Face off in the RPI zone coming up. It's 1-0 Dartmouth here with 3.5 to go in the first period. Pad save there. Puck played around the goal to the far side corner. Looking to find it. Hessler, the goal scorer. He gets dumped. Hessler jumps back on it. Back to the point. Shot coming. Takes a deflection in the air over the net to the near corner. Now the Engineers look to carry out. This group has been out there for a while. Nanny, Melanson, and now Schrader. Near side, broken up. Melanson's going to carry it right back in on the attack. Into the top of the circle, fed far side. Nanny had his shot blocked. Looks to steer it in deep and does for Melanson. Try to hand it off neatly there. A little too cute as the Big Green break it up and play it out to center. Prapavesis now spins away from some pressure, but then eventually, he jumps back on it. Lost it for a second. Not getting any help there from Lunani, who kind of got in his way there. Now he backs off. There's a tie up in front of the Dartmouth bench area. They finally take it out of there. Neely up the near wall and into the RPI zone. Centering pass, skips right through, looking for O'Brien. RPI trying to break the other way. It's Gillespie with speed into the offensive zone. A shot way wide to the near corner. It'll carry him out of the zone, in fact, and move back the other way. Bly takes a hit from Wilson. Now O'Brien gets roughed up by Nanny along the near side. Bourbonnais over there. Played to the center of the ice where Wilson is waiting. And he'll just play it far side for Gillespie. His pass out to center is broken up. Engineers restart in their own zone. Under 2 to go in the first period. Jake Wood has it on his tape. Skating through center, and he'll cross the red line and move it into the offensive zone. Engineers are offside there. Gillespie a little bit early across the blue line. He touches up, so does Wood. And RPI back to the forecheck. It's Tour up the near side boards. Shot right back into Dartmouth territory. Wood was a little bit slow getting back on side. Engineers have to back off again. Patterson, near side for Shearhorn. Puck is either out of play or in someone's equipment. We'll have a stoppage with 1:28 to go in the first period. Still 1-0 Big Green.
Yes, it's been a very sloppy first period for RPI. Shots on goal in this one, 11-8 in favor of the Big Green. But really, if you take a look at the momentum, the possession, it's probably more lopsided than 11-8. Dartmouth has really done a good job impressing here in the first period, and they've managed to cash in for it with the 1-0 lead.
Played near side, more off the center ice draw. RPI will ring it in. Rodriguez along the far wall. He takes a hit. Keeps on moving, in down low, trying to find Liljegren. And now Moore at the near wall. Kicking it in on the pinch, thrown right back to him. And he'll fire one right through the top of the crease, but it comes all the way free to the far side. Shearhorn trying to find Patterson breaking. Will this be icing? I don't think he was across center. It will be, and we'll have a face-off coming up in the Dartmouth zone. A little over a minute to go in the first.
Yeah, the icing creates an opportunity for the Engineers. That's a free face-off in the attacking zone. And with 63 seconds remaining here in the opening period. The M&M line coming out for RPI. Face-off win here could create a scoring opportunity, and the scoring opportunity can create a goal, and despite how they've played, they can get out of here potentially with at least a 1-1 game, so it all kind of adds up in the end.
Drawn up here, far side of the Dartmouth zone. Engineers trying to win that face-off back. It gets tangled up and actually moves into the far corner. Tap towards the point, Shearhorn high in the air out to center, relieve some pressure, and it actually flips into his own bench, so a face-off will head back to the Dartmouth zone. They will not be allowed to change.
Well, that must be news to them since they are changing. But the face-off does still end up in the...
Oh, you're right. They are changing.
Face-off does still end up down in the Dartmouth zone, so another opportunity for RPI here late in the period.
They didn't listen to me at all.
We should speak louder. You got to speak up.
Face-off here, once again, same side, far side of the Dartmouth zone. Engineers win it back. Nanny to the point. Prabavesis down low, finding Melanson, centering pass. As Prabavesis jumped right into the slot, it was broken up. He'll play it back to the point where Nanny's waiting. He'll take a slap shot that's deflected wide. And a man in front, that was Miller. He deflected the puck low, but it missed the net. Engineers back to their own end now, as it's Bradley up the wall, intercepted by Neely. And we get a whistle and offside call. 29.7 to go in the period. Engineers with a decent chance there. They've shown some creativity at the offensive end there with Prapavesis joining the play. Nanny taking a shot from the point. Turned into a decent chance.
They may have had the lion's share of the quality scoring opportunities despite the lack of possession in this one. Another opportunity goes by the wayside for the Engineers as the puck just barely squirts through the crease on that one.
Played to the RPI line again. Chopping it out of there was Wilson. Bourbonnais helps on further for Schrader. Schrader back near side, intercepted. He was trying to find Bourbonnais. O'Brien plays it right back into RPI territory. Nanny right back out to center. O'Brien, shoots it right back in wide of goal. Glove down and left to the side of the cage for Hackett. And now Schrader plays it right back behind his own net with 5, and that'll do it for the period. 2-1. There it is. As Wilson will just stick handle a bit behind his own goal. We are through one period here in the Houston Fieldhouse. It's 1-0 Dartmouth. Big Green also with an 11-8 edge in shots. Just the one power play for the Big Green. Nothing happening there. No power play shots whatsoever.
8 saves for Devin Buffalo for the Big Green. 10 for RPI freshman Cam Hackett, who was largely where he needed to be. The lone goal given up was more or less where he wanted to be, just I don't think saw the puck as it was shot. So really not one that is going to be one he's going to be thinking about probably later on tonight. Every goaltender gives up shots where they are just effectively screened. There's not much they can do to always clear or keep it clear in front. So if you're RPI, you really have to be thankful that you're only down 1-0 at this point. They've really got to tighten up the passing. They've got to be a little bit more crisp moving down ice and really got to take care of the puck.
Certainly that will be the case there. We will have a live phone interview coming up at our first intermission. It'll be Adam Woden from
College Hockey News, the managing editor of College Hockey News. We're going to talk a little bit about the controversy that sprung up with the Big Ten and their proposed legislation before the NCAA. So we'll step aside momentarily, and we'll be right back with our first intermission. Listen to live coverage of Engineers Hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.
How quickly I come undone, like melting ice on the sun. Why would that stop when I'm falling free in the midnight daydream?
to start the period. As it's Brad Shearhorn into the near corner. Tapped out in front. Milos Babella back there to break it up. And now Bradley off the wall. Glove down by Hartley. Looks like they're offside. And wow, no, they don't blow it down. Shot coming. Save Hackett. Rebound still loose. Now he's going to cover it up. That looked almost for certain to be an offside, but the linesman nowhere near the play. Waved it on.
Just 31 seconds into this second period. And we've seen the results of RPI losing the opening draw. It's been something that the Engineers have needed to get better on really all season as their face-offs. So the ensuing face-off now coming up to the left of Cam Hackett.
Face-off down low. Engineers win it back around to the near corner. Face-off's going to be a big part of this game, with the Engineers having such a low percentage and the Big Green the other way, being one of the better face-off teams in all the country, but RPI has held its ground so far. Face-offs currently are 14-11 RPI, in fact, which is a little bit surprising. Into the offensive zone, stick handle near side. Nanny hands it off for Miller. Mark Miller absorbs a hit, tapped to the near side from Melanson off the wall, back to the point. Nice keep by Reno. He'll just ring it into the far corner. Didn't think he had much of a chance to keep that puck in, although the Big Green will make that a moot point as they skated out to center. Potential 3-on-2, although Nanny's getting back in a hurry. Drop pass, near side, Shoop walking in. A shot off the post. Rebound blocked. Another rebound. Stays out, loose in the circle. Trying to find and take a shot. It goes off the back of the net and Karams to the near side. Dartmouth knocking on the door there as Shoop rang one off the upper 90. And we get an icing call here. RPI just trying to relieve some pressure. Minute and a half into the second period, still 1-0 Dartmouth.
And that's still some more of Dartmouth showing off exactly what RPI has done to be successful. It's quick counterattacking, it's moving through the zone, and it's getting back there with numbers. Lou Nanny managed to get back in time to avoid the odd man rush, made it a 3-on-3 going the other way, but regardless, it was just fast motions with the puck and getting it down ice quickly, created a scoring opportunity for the Big Green.
Shot comes from the near circle. Not a good angle for Barry, but the save is made by Hackett, and he'll hold on.
And that's basically all this is right now, is Dartmouth's ability to counterattack and their ability to win faceoffs. They just did it again right there with a faceoff win in the RPI zone. Get a quick shot on goal. If you shoot the puck, good things will happen.
Draw coming here in the RPI zone near side. It'll be Schrader up against Carl Hessler. He has the lone goal in this game. Hessler trying to sweep a shot on goal, missed it on the fan. It was broken up and cleared out to center by the Engineers. Taken over by Ferguson, shot off the near wall. Bouncing puck carried into the offensive end by Jake Wood. Wood on the move, backhand shot, sneaks right through to the far side. Bourbonnais now in the corner, over skates, and it's carried out to center ice by Dartmouth. Kevin Neely stopped up there. Carried right back into the offensive zone and shot near side by Mears Moore. Back out to center comes Dartmouth now into the offensive zone. Barry stops at the circle, takes a shot, and a save by Hackett. Not cheating over was Cam Hackett. Good positioning there for the freshman netminder. He's able to make the save, up to 12 stops on the evening.
And Barry looks like he wanted to do something different there as he whipped it directly into Hackett and then looked skyward, kind of wondering where he put that one. Barry's been pretty dangerous for Dartmouth here in this game. He's got 1 assist so far tonight, and he's part of that dangerous line that's listed as the third line on the sheet for the Big Green, but clearly has been one of the top offensive units for Dartmouth this evening.
Face-off moved out to center ice by the Engineers. Orval trying to swat it into the offensive zone. It's taken away by Crema. Troy Crema taken over at center ice by the Engineers. Bradley near side for Prapavesis. He'll spin away from some pressure, shoots it off the boards, finding Babella from Banska Bystrica, Slovakia. Milos Babella into the offensive zone, driving to the net. His pocket is picked by Hartley and cleared on out to center ice. Prapavesis far side for Bradley. He'll fire it right back in. Chasing it down in the near corner is Josh Hartley. Taken over by Babella. Now right back. Shot around far side by Nick Bly. Nickerson behind the cage. Dartmouth looking to break out of their own zone. They find Nickerson far side. A little over 3 minutes into the second period. 1-0. Dartmouth has the lead as Milos Babella has it. Flipping it far side. It's picked off, and it's Patterson into the offensive end. Fed up the far boards. Opperman there. He'll slide it down low. Prapavesis is the first one to it. Up the wall. Babella lets it run. Liljegren chips towards the line. It's kept in. Hartley once again in the air. Bouncing puck behind the goal. Played around far side right to Opperman off the stick of Prapavesis. Opperman now turning backhand. Blocked. Kept in near point by Yao. And now behind the goal. Opperman walking around the net. Wraparound tries. Turned away. The puck is gone. Where is it? It's pinned against the net. Good post-to-post work there from Cam Hackett. Able to pin that one up against the post before Opperman could stuff it in.
A little under 4 minutes now into the second period, and really it's just been all Dartmouth here in the second period. 4-1 the shot total in favor of the Big Green here early in the second stanza.
Face off here, near side of the RPI zone. Played around far side by Jared Wilson. Bouncing puck controlled by Melanson. He's tied up over there, and the puck is crammed back behind the RPI net. Near side, it's going to be another chance, a tight angle shot, actually below the goal line. Kick to the corner, now moved down to center by Gillespie. Race for the puck, Melanson's going to get there first. Played around to the far corner, Miller has Gillespie with him. Gillespie along the wall, chips it off the boards, trying to work it down low, broken up and taken away by Tim O'Brien. Outletted ahead to center ice. Jacek drops it off there, into the zone they come. Centering pass broken up again by the Engineers. Gillespie trying to move it out to center ice. Chopped his skate down, or stick down on Jacek, as Ferguson picks it up on the far side of the neutral zone. Off the wall into RPI territory, controlled by the sophomore Jared Wilson from Calgary, Alberta. Former Vernon Viper, played near side for Nanny, too far for him. Gillespie moves it out to center ice. Neely turns it right back around for Dartmouth into the offensive end. Give and go, Neely back on it. Pried off the puck by Reno. He goes down. He lost his stick in the process, gets it back. Puck to the near corner of the RPI end. Barry takes a hit there, and he gets knocked down by Reno, picked up by Wilson, chipped off the near boards and out to center. Dartmouth with a territorial advantage in this second period as well as we're 5 minutes in. Puck bouncing around in the slot, thrown on a backhand line of goal to the near corner. Big hit in the corner up by Schrader, trying to hit Barry. Kicked along by Reno, played by Wilson. Down the middle, connects to Wood. Jake Wood stick handling through center, poked off his stick, comes right back to him. And now Schrader joining the play, trying to feed it into the offensive zone. Shot back the other way, bouncing puck at the RPI line, carried in by the Big Green. Turned right back around by Jake Wood, near side circle of his own end. Saucer pass to center ice. Bourbonnais trying to move it on further. Gets it as far as the blue line, but it's shot right back. Picked up by Hampton, he'll shoot it in to the Dartmouth zone. First one to it's Hartley for the Big Green. Shots are 16-9 Dartmouth. Still 1-0 the score. As the Big Green move it out far side of their own zone. Stick handling near side now is Hartley, avoiding some forecheckers from RPI. Goes all the way down the ice, and this will be icing on Dartmouth here. Almost 6 minutes into the second period.
We've only had one penalty called in this game. It was a tripping call against RPI's Kenny Gillespie at 3:07 of the first period. And that has been it. It really has not been that tight checking of a contest, and really hasn't been overly physical. That's something that RPI needs to work on as well, because they need to be physical in order to be successful.
Centering pass sent all the way to the near side. Crema has it knocked off his stick. Stayed in the zone. Nice play by Nickerson, trying to give it back to him. Rolling puck towards the line. Engineers skated out to center, 4-on-2. Into the offensive zone. Good hit there to break things up along the far side. That was Bullock who hit Liljegren. And the puck just went into the far corner. Nothing the Engineers can do with it there. Back out to center it goes. It's Bradley down the middle. Rodriguez shoots it off the near boards. Hartley right back to the RPI line and in deep. Will be icing again on Dartmouth here.
And that was a perfect example of the type of defense that Dartmouth has put together. A nice hip check, and it was a perfectly timed hip check along the far boards by Ryan Bullock, the senior out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Putting his man into the boards at just the right time to break up what could have been an odd man situation. And Dartmouth really taking it to RPI on both sides of the ice right now.
Moved into the RPI end and chipped in by Nickerson. Engineers have it there. Prapavesis. Near side of his own zone, plays it across for Bradley, even further for Melanson into the offensive end. He'll take the long way around the far corner, poked off his stick, coming over to help Miller as it pinned against the boards. And now out to center is Opperman. Grant Opperman, the junior from Wayzata, Minnesota. Moves it in deep. Taken over by Shearhorn. Shearhorn looking to center. Lost in Opperman skates, and the Engineers take over. Far side, carry it in. Melanson has Orval with him. Melanson stick handling over there on the far side. Gets roughed up a bit by Shoup. Taken over by Schrader in the circle far side. Drop pass for Jesper Orval to the near point for Reno. Looking for a deflection from Schrader. Didn't get it. Caroms all the way out to the far side. Opperman jumps on it there. He's tied up with Orval as he gets it in deep. Opperman down low, and we get a whistle here as a collision. We're going to get a penalty here. A high sticking is going to be the call. I think they're going to get Jared Wilson on this one.
Yeah, I think Dartmouth is lucky not to get a matching minor here. There's certainly a high stick by Wilson in the corner, but after Wilson's man ended up on the ice, it was Brett Patterson who was down there. He was holding the stick of Jared Wilson at the same time, so I'm not sure why you call one and not the other, but it is Dartmouth being the beneficiary of the call. They go on their second power play of the evening, and they are 0 for 1 so far.
No shots yet in the Dartmouth power play as they get things going here. Here's Hartley. Near side one-timer blocked by Prapavesis. He's good at that as well. 31 blocks coming into play today, second on the team. He got in front of that one-timer from Crema. A lot of room near side. Hartley lines one up, takes the shot right on, and a save by Hackett. He'll smother it there.
Just a reminder, you're listening to live coverage of Engineers Hockey on 91.5 FM. WRPI Troy, Tom Reel with Perry Lascaris on the call for you in this one. 12:05 left in the second period. 1:42 remaining on the RPI penalty to Jared Wilson. Dartmouth has a 1-0 lead.
Draw coming here near side of the RPI zone. Kalk, he's overtaken. Puck carried out to center. Babella trying to do some more shorthanded damage. Hartley gets rid of the puck in time. Now he gets it back. Josh Hartley into the RPI zone near side. Takes a hit. Engineers clear all the way down. Race for the puck. Schrader and Bullock in a dead heat. And it's going to be Bullock who bumps into Schrader and knocks him off the play. Far side of the Dartmouth zone. Big Green will gather there and play it back behind the goal to restart the breakout. Here is Bullock. Senior from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, 6'1". 3 assists on the year for him. Into the RPI zone on the dump. Far side. Wood trying to clear. Kept in by Bullock. Near point Hartley. Walking in. A shot blocked by Reno. And it's lost in his equipment. And we get a pretty quick whistle. Engineers will take it. And so will Reno, who looks to be hobbling a bit after blocking that shot.
56 seconds remaining on the penalty to Wilson. Still not much going for the Dartmouth power play, but they've been able to maintain possession, which is what they've been doing for much of this game in the first place. So still a dangerous spot here for RPI. They want to be this next goal, but they're going to have to kill this penalty to do it.
Draw here near side of the RPI zone. 56 seconds remain on the penalty to Wilson. Shots are 17-9. Big Green. Patterson at the near point. Keeps it in there. Prapavesis is trying to clear. Can't. Opperman picks it up in the corner. Taken back over by Prapavesis. Played out the center. Glove down right at the red line by Patterson. And controlled by Bly. For Shearhorn. Shearhorn back to Bly. Drop pass to the point. Shoot. Near point. Patterson pulls it back. Near side circle now. Opperman. Opperman back up top. Gets it back along the top of the near circle. Opperman down low. Goal line extended for Bly. Bly holding there. Near side for Opperman again. Opperman waiting. Center blue line. One-timer Patterson. Save made by Hackett. Trickles to the far corner. Shoop has it now. For the far point for Patterson. Near point Opperman into the slot. Not much on the pass. Spinning puck controlled by the Big Green. They'll reset again. Top of the zone on the power play for another 13 seconds. Opperman now. Near side. One-timer Patterson deflects wide to the near corner. Kept in by Opperman. Fanned on the pass. Puck out to center. Patterson has it there. They'll just loft it in the RPI zone again. Out of the box comes Wilson. Engineers kill off the penalty. Up the near side boards. Shot in by Bourbonnais. Race for the puck. It'll be knocked down by Buffalo. He'll help it to the far corner. Ferguson now near corner of his own zone. Looking to start the breakout here. Up the near wall for Barry. Big collision along the boards. Schrader ran into Ferguson. Dartmouth chips it in. Controlled by Moore. He uses the net as a screen to get away from his man. Skated out the center. Ahead for Nanny. Nanny to the offensive zone. Makes a move. Gets free. Nanny to the circle. Backhand pass all the way through the slot. Picked up on the other side by Schrader. Schrader behind the goal, looking for the wrap. Stop made by Buffalo. Rebound pop to the near corner. Controlled there by Barry. He'll play it around to the far side. Schrader's the first one to it there. He'll play it down low for Nanny. Has it pinned against the boards. Nanny, some help from Bourbonnais. Bourbonnais waiting, holding. Bourbonnais still on it. He's being watched there by Hessler. Centering pass comes all the way through to the circle. And Dartmouth's going to be able to clear out to center. Barry, one-on-one with Hampton, just elects to chip it to the near side as Dartmouth will get a change. 9:22 to go, second period. Liljegren skates dangerously in front of his own goal, and he gets his pocket picked. Back comes O'Brien, a drive, saved by Hackett, and out of his crease by about a foot was Cam Hackett. No rebound, as Tim O'Brien elected to take the slap shot from the circle in a partial break.
It was easy to see the difference in intensity there between Liljegren and O'Brien, as Liljegren just kind of lazily brought the puck out of the zone. Wasn't quite a forecheck by O'Brien, but all he had to do was poke the puck off of Liljegren's stick, and he had basically a breakaway situation and a good stop there by Cam Hackett to keep this a 1-0 game.
Draw here, far side of the RPI zone, stuck on the dot, now pulled away by Liljegren. Playing ahead, looking for Melanson, trying to gain speed. Intercepted by Yao, and played right in front of the RPI bench area. Picked up by Parker Reno in his own zone. Lots of pressure from the Big Green. Orval behind the back pass, near side for Liljegren. He'll carry in. Liljegren turns around in the circle, holding it there. Liljegren on it. Carried to the top of the circle. Save made. Rebound poked on goal. There was a try there by Orval, and turned away a second time by Devin Buffalo. Now Yao near side, crosses center. He'll just shoot it in. Brings around, past Hackett to the far corner. Wilson has it now for RPI. He looks to break out, feeds it ahead for Victor Liljegren. From Stockholm, Sweden, plays it to the defender right in front of him. Trying to get it back, eventually gets a shot on goal out of it as he ran into Connor Yao, the freshman from Algonquin, Illinois, and we get a whistle as Buffalo covers.
A little bit of good play there from that grouping I've called the Eurostar line in the past. They have been together as a line this season. The all-European line of Milos Bubella, Victor Liljegren, and Jesper Orval. RPI slowly starting to try to tilt the ice back down in the Dartmouth direction. They've done a much better job of being on the puck since killing off the penalty to Jared Wilson. But they still need to kind of pump the intensity up just a little bit more here. With 8:25 left in the second period, they still trail 1-0.
Face-off coming here in the Dartmouth zone. Bubella will take it against Brett Patterson. Now Patterson gets tossed for Opperman. Engineers win the face-off. Gillespie into the far corner, runs into Ferguson, and Gillespie is the one who goes down. Dartmouth will move it out to center, thrown off the body of Patterson, but he's able to find the puck. Trapevesis flips it ahead neatly for Rodriguez. Into the zone near side, a wrist shot saved. Rebound, they
Sometimes you just have to be able to take advantage of not necessarily even a mistake, but just an opportunity. And the opportunity that RPI had right there was Karen Tour falling down along the RPI blue line, gave Alex Rodriguez plenty of opportunity to move, and exactly the way I've been saying it, they need to be able to move quickly. Rodriguez used that speed to get into the zone with some space, put it off of Buffalo, but it bounced right to Bubella, who buried it in the back of the cage. It's 1-1.
Speaking with the RPI coaching staff, I've had a chance to do that for a number of days. This trip to North Dakota, or to Notre Dame.
Wow. Way off.
Way off. As I'll get to that story later. Back to action here, 1-1, 7:45 left in the second period. As it's played by Troy Crema in the far corner. Shot by Bullock, blocker save into the near side by Hackett. Culp gets roughed up by Wilson. He's going to take a penalty here. It's going to be an elbowing, maybe? Yeah, it's going to be an elbowing from Jared Wilson. So fans still applauding the announcement of the goal, and the Engineers are going to the penalty kill for the third time.
And this is what you would call a momentum killer. RPI with the initiative after scoring the tying goal, but Jared Wilson back in the box for the second time tonight. An elbowing call against the RPI sophomore. And just as RPI is back in this game with a goal, now they have another 2 minutes where they've got to kill off another one. But Perry, as you well know, successful penalty kills can be their own momentum changer. So RPI is going to have to force the issue here now down a man.
Absolutely right. The Engineers have done a pretty good job here on the kill, although Dartmouth had some good offensive zone possession time in its second power play. Third chance here. Wilson to the box. Shots are 20-15. Big Green here. You factor in the 3 power plays that Dartmouth has had. That'll skew things in the favor of the visitors from the onset. Now it's a puck back out to neutral ice. Bubella doing his best to not to take a hooking call against Patterson, as it's carried in near side by Grant Opperman. Opperman stops at the near side half boards. Stick handling there towards the point. He'll just play it down low. Walking in, Bly, tight angle shot, saved by Hackett into the netting, and then Hackett takes a look in the direction of Nick Bly.
Second goal of this game was scored by the Engineers, makes it 1-1, an even strength goal from Milos Bubela, his third goal of the season, first at even strength. 11:53 of the second period makes it 1-1. Alex Rodriguez with the primary assist and chalk up the secondary assist to Mike Prapavesis, who now has 4 assists in the last 3 games.
Draw coming near side of the RPI zone. Still plenty of time left on the Dartmouth power play. Work it back to the point, Patterson. Wrist shot, deflected just wide. He had Shearhorn in front, well executed, but unable to convert on the Big Green. Now Reno will slam it out near side with the point vacated. Patterson had moved over to the center of the blue line area. Lots of room to clear out near side. The Engineers were able to fire it all the way down. Under 7 to go in the second period. 1-1 now, RPI and Dartmouth. Milos Bubela getting his first even strength goal of the season. Had 2 shorties and an assist coming in. Now another clearing effort all the way down by Miller. Engineers can change their penalty killing unit. Minute to go on the Dartmouth power play as they'll start out from behind their goal. Brett Patterson skates behind his own net. He'll leave it for Bullock. Ryan Bullock with it here. 3 assists on the year. Down the middle of the ice, near side for Hartley. Ahead for Kalk, intercepted by Bourbonnais. Can't clear. Bullock doesn't know where it is. It hit him in the back. He'll pick it up at the point. Bullock now, far point, nearly picked off by Wood. He'll have a chance to clear and does all the way down the ice. Sliding into the far corner. Bullock back to pick it up for the Big Green. 28 seconds to go on the power play. 6 minutes to go in the second. Connects far side into the zone. It's shot in by Crema. Prapavesis played behind all the way to the far side for Wood. Wood has a clear lane and he'll fire it all the way down on goal. Save made by Buffalo. He'll have to play the puck as Bourbonnais puts pressure on. Bullock now. Far side of his own zone. Wood applies some more pressure. Penalty about to expire. Engineers in the offensive zone. Bullock takes over. Out of the box comes Wilson. RPI 3 for 3 on the kill. Crema now. Stick handling through center. He chips it off the near glass and into RPI territory. Phil Hampton there first. Takes a hit. Helps it along to the far side. Near side of the net. Crema can't control. Phil Hampton now spins back to take a hit from Kalk. And now here is Mears Moore. Moore off the glass, out to center, bouncing puck to the line, controlled there by the Big Green. It's Connor Yao. Near side Shoop, back to Yao. Up the far boards, tipped along. Mears Moore will track it down. Freshman out of Duluth, Minnesota. Far corner of his own zone behind for Hampton. Hampton's pass near side picked off. Stolen away by the Dartmouth goal scorer, Carl Hessler. Down low now is a collision behind the net. A couple players go down. Taken over again by Hessler. Out of the corner, turning and shooting, was blocked, picked up by Melanson. Ahead for Nanny, out to neutral ice. Here's Phil Hampton, he'll just ring it in. Rolled around to the far corner. Nanny beats you out of the puck. Moves it down low, behind the net, taken over there by Hessler. Hessler up the near boards, Barry lets it run out to center. Over to help out near side Wilson. Chips it along, up the near boards and all the way down. This will be icing on the Engineers. We'll have a stoppage in play. 4:21 left in the second. 1-1 RPI and Dartmouth.
Well, RPI successful on a very aggressive penalty kill there, and as many penalties as they've been taking, that's now 19 full minutes of penalty kill time that RPI has had in the last 5 periods. They've been successful killing off all of those penalties, so something is going right for RPI, and their penalty kill has been part of it.
Melanson far side. Shooting it to center, trying to find Nanny. It was broken up. Pops right back to Melanson. He'll skate into the offensive zone with it. Leaves it far side for Schrader. Schrader on his backhand. Save made by Buffalo. Rebound pop to the corner. Up the far boards, pinching in. Nanny can't control. Ahead for Shearhorn. One-on-one with Wilson. Trying to make a move. Puck comes trickling in on Hackett. He will use his mitt to freeze that one.
I think he was kind of wondering why Lou Nanny wasn't going to pick that one up. It was kind of just bizarre to watch the puck just come off of the Dartmouth player's stick and dribble in from the far face-off circle to the crease where Hackett covered it while Lou Nanny was basically just still covering his area. But nonetheless, it's a face-off in the RPI zone with 3:57 left in the second period. RPI and Dartmouth tied at 1.
Draw here. Backhand shot coming off the draw was blocked. Opperman got the shot away. Looks like he hit Prapavesis with it. Now being hounded is Bradley. Penalty coming up here on Opperman. It's going to be a hook. And the Engineers going to go on the power play here with 3:45. Well, slash, I beg your pardon. Either way, a power play for the Engineers late here in the second period in a tie game.
It is sometimes fun playing name that penalty when it comes to what that is. It did look like a hook. At the end of the day, a hook and a slash gets you 2 minutes regardless. So a penalty was appropriate. A penalty was called. And now RPI with their first opportunity on the power play here this evening. They are 7 for 51 this season on the power play. That's 13.7%. Dartmouth's penalty kill, 64.9%. Not what you would want to see. They are 24 for 37 on the year. So a big opportunity now late in the second period for the Engineers.
To their defense, they played some pretty solid power play units this year. But that number will surely come up as the year goes on. Dartmouth clears it down. The Engineers will start back up from behind their own goal. Mears Moore will lead the breakout down the middle. Try the far side. Riley Bourbonnais into the zone. Race for the puck. Zach Schrader is going to get there first in the corner. Helped on further for Wood. Played back to the far side. And now back to the point for Moore. Moore stops there. Pressure comes. He'll elected to shoot it in. It came from Hessler. Around to the near side for Wood. Wood back to the point for Hampton. Hampton fires on goal. Save made. Looking for the deflection from Schrader. These aren't your stereotypical household name power play players here, Tom, but they're out there and they're moving the puck pretty well.
That's what you like to see. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's guys you see on a regular basis or some new blood. As long as they're moving the puck well, they can cycle it good. That's what you want to see on any power play, and they're getting opportunities here on this one with 1:22 remaining on the man advantage.
Draw here, won by the Big Green, trying to clear near side over the head of Wilson. Not easy to do as he stands at 6'3". Hackett will leave it behind the net for Wilson as he looks to start the breakout once more. Minute 10 to go on the RPI power play. Down the middle, Melanson. Little shoulder fake. He'll skate it in far side, drop it off, and made the pass at the line. That'll draw an offside whistle.
Unforced error on RPI there. Melanson, I think, just mistimed when he was going to pass that. Kind of double clutched on the pass, and when he did that, he was in the zone by the time he moved it. Makes RPI offsides and results in a face-off right outside the attacking zone, which isn't always the easiest thing to do.
Draw here, far side of the neutral zone. Engineers win it. Wilson at the red line. He'll carry in. Now he'll shoot it in. Rolling around to the far side half wall. Pinching in Pravovessis to break it up. Shot back around to the near side. Wilson waits for it. Played up the boards. Babella using his body to shield the puck. Plays it down low in the air for Pravovessis. And now Melanson. Shot right back to the point. Catching on his backhand, Wilson. Flung far side. Here's Orval. Back to the near side for Melanson. Down low, Pravovessis feeding it across. Orval can't control the pass. 30 seconds to go on the RPI power play. Near side, Melanson settles a bouncing puck. Fed inside, turning Babella, firing a shot off the side of the cage. Back to Melanson at the near wall. 20 seconds to go in the power play. Orval, center blue line, a drive. Save made by Buffalo. It's chipped behind and cleared out of the zone. Engineers getting a good look there for Jared Wilson. The right angle you want, center of the zone. Got a deflection. It went wide. Now the Engineers look to work it out near side as out of the box comes Opperman. Dartmouth RPI over one of the power play. Big collision behind the Dartmouth goal as it was Nickerson and Wood going into it hard. Back behind the Dartmouth net, picked up by Moore, who's in deep with Wood. He'll hand it off there. Wood back to Moore along the wall. Shot through traffic. Caroms around to the near side, and it'll be carried out to center ice by Opperman. Schrader turned that puck around quickly, but it's picked up by Bullock. He'll cross center and fired in wide of the RPI cage. Mears Moore jumps on it there. Nearly stolen away, though. Riley Bourbonnais finds a loose puck. Played it out to center. That one's broken up again. Shot right back into the RPI zone by Nickerson. Puck behind the RPI cage. Neither team able to find it now. Pinned against the back wall. 52 seconds to go in the second in a 1-1 game. Played around behind for Hampton. Hampton off the glass out to center. Bouncing puck skips by the intended target. Maybe a 2-on-1. Oh, good poke check there by Hartley. The Engineers are looking to pounce there on an errant puck, and a shot comes in from the top of the circle by Nickerson. Easily sticked away by Hackett and carried on out by Nanny. Fans want the Engineers to push it here. 26 seconds to go in the period. Nanny at the far side point. Plays it down low for Bourbonnais. Bourbonnais in the near corner. Centering pass all the way through. Picked up there by Wilson, who lost it on the handle. Rebound loose. trying to jam it home. We get a whistle. It was Miller on the doorstep, and Buffalo kept it out.
Some bad puck luck for the Engineers as they had a couple of opportunities that would have been great, but just couldn't link up. It was whether it was Wilson going for it on the one-timer and just couldn't corral it, or the puck squirting through the slot with nobody able to touch it. A good counterattack by RPI leads to a scoring opportunity, but some good defensive play by Dartmouth locks it down with 14.3 seconds left in the second period, and the face-off coming up in their zone.
Face-off, RPI offensive zone. The Big Green win the draw around to the near corner. 9 seconds to go in the period. Engineers tie up there. Kept in. Far side. Wilson trying to find it. It's controlled by O'Brien. High off the glass with 2 seconds. One out to center, and that will do it for period number 2. RPI gets the tying goal. Milos Bubella is able to put that one home. Engineers and Big Green knotted at 1-1, and shots are 21 all as well.
Well, it wasn't a quick turnaround for the Engineers. They still came out a little bit flat in that second period, but it was gradually started going down their way, and late in the period they really had more dominant of the play. They ended up getting the tying goal off the stick of Milos Bubella. They had a good penalty kill that came after that. They had a pretty good power play that came after that, so some of the momentum starting to go in RPI's direction. They've been pretty decent the last game against Harvard notwithstanding in the second period, so the third period has been a little bit of the bugaboo for the Engineers this season. They'll have to be ready to turn it on in the final 20 minutes if they're going to get a result out of this one. We will be back momentarily with the interview we were hoping to bring you during the first intermission. Hopefully we've got everything loaded up and ready to go for Adam Woden of College Hockey News during the second intermission. So we'll take a quick break, get that all set up for you. Your score after 2 periods of play, RPI 1 and Dartmouth 1. Listen to live coverage of Engineers Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. And we're back inside Houston Fieldhouse. It's the second intermission of play between RPI and Dartmouth. Your score after 2 periods of play now is RPI 1 and Dartmouth 1. We now are on the line, I hope, with Adam Woden of College Hockey News. Adam, are you there? We're with Adam Woden. Adam, can you hear us? Okay, well, unfortunately,
I can be Adam if you want me to, Tom.
Look, fans, it's Ed DeGarian.
Not Adam Woden. I'm sorry. For those of you fans that wanted Adam Woden, you got me. I'm sorry you're disappointed.
You know, Perry was so excited because we had this working before the game started. It works. And we were so sure that it was working, too.
Well.
So we decided to forego a taped interview for the magic of live radio, and live radio fails us. But I don't want to say that it's a consolation prize, but
go ahead.
I am excited to talk to Ed DeGarian.
Well, thank you, Tom. I'm excited to talk to you as well.
Let's start with this game. You haven't been in the booth, so you get a different perspective than everybody else. What have you seen so far tonight between RPI and Dartmouth?
Yeah, you know, and for the first period, I was across on the towny side, if you will, as it calls here. And for the second period, I was watching just to the left of the booth. Both periods, RPI, you know, seemed to want to play board hockey, and I don't mean B-O-R-E-D hockey. I mean B-O-A-R-D hockey. They wanted to, for some reason, play on the board. I think they can out-hustle Dartmouth. They can out-skate Dartmouth. I think Dartmouth is doing a good job getting in the passing lanes, sort of forcing RPI to play that kind of hockey as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. But RPI did get their lone goal kind of making things happen with their speed, which is what they do, and that's how they've been successful this year.
Yeah, and they had the angle too. They sort of made Buffalo, the goalie for Dartmouth, kick that rebound out to Bubella. I mean, he had no choice but to kick that rebound out, and that was just a good, solid play and hustle by the RPI engineers. And if they do more of that, it's clear. I don't want to say RPI is going to be the dominant team, but it's clear that RPI is the better team when it comes to that style of hockey.
I think you're right about that, Ed. And one of the things I noticed during the second period is that the momentum slowly started going in RPI's direction, and when you get that going, you get the good bounces. Really, you have to give it up to Mike Prapavesis on that goal. He was able to take advantage of the fact that his guy went down. It was kind of, caught an edge, which is what happens. Moved the puck up ice to Alex Rodriguez, who then used his speed to get it in the zone. Odd man rush, bounced it off Buffalo. Bubella was there to bury it. It's more and more of what we've seen of the RPI defensemen creating opportunities in the defensive zone for RPI.
Yeah, and I think RPI has a lot of playmakers, more so than they did last year, and they just make things happen. They know what they do, sort of hockey smarts on the ice. I mean, they're sort of not thinking about it. They're just going out and doing it. And when you just go out and do something, it comes naturally. And RPI, they don't create offense, they let the offense come to them, I guess, if you will. Which is more than what we've seen in the last couple of years here in the Fieldhouse.
Yeah, and you talk about these playmakers, and a lot of it boils down to the recruiting style that Seth Appert has chosen to employ when it comes to recruiting defensemen. And it's even rubbed off on some of the guys he hasn't recruited to be playmakers. You see guys like Parker Reno adding to the attack far more than he has in his first 2 seasons here now. But sometimes it's just little things like just where you distribute the puck. Guys like Mike Prapavesis, like Mears Moore, Jared Wilson, they were brought here to be an offensive attack from the blue line. And they've done that, but even when you have guys like Parker Reno with the puck, you're seeing them make the right choices more often than not when it comes to these counterattacks. They're distributing the puck well. They're either bouncing it off the boards to a guy who's moving out of the zone, or they're just picking the right spots to make a headman pass. That's why you have guys like Prapavesis and Reno with lots and lots of assists. They're really some of the focal points for RPI's sort of resurgence in offense this year. We saw them struggle to score goals last year. They're getting better this year, in part because of their defensemen.
Well, in part because of that, too, and I think in part because of confidence. I mean, last year we saw a lack of a true finisher and a lack of a playmaker for RPI, and I think this year, you have Milos Bubella, you have Victor Liljegren, you have Drew Melanson, you have Lou Nanny. In January, you're going to have Jimmy DeVito come back. I think that sort of confidence up front trickles back, if you will, to the defenders. And they're less afraid to make the dangerous play, having confidence in their forwards.
And of course, when the defenders are more confident in their goaltender, they're a little willing to make more, take more risks. And this season, they've had 2 different goaltenders that they've been able to have real confidence in as well.
And we all know the situation with what happened with the goalies. If you're true, or intense RPI fan, you know the situation with what happened with the goalies. Cam Hackett, he didn't come in here until, August. He knew going in he was going to be the backup. I mean, that's when you have Jason Kasdorf, or healthy Jason Kasdorf, you might not play much, but Hackett has done admirably. And I know Seth Appert keeps saying, Jason Kasdorf has to earn it, Hackett, if he's the hot goaltender who's going to play. And I'm not one to disagree with Coach Appert. I mean, he knows what he's doing. But in this case, I'm going to disagree. I mean, I was telling somebody else watching the game with, I'd rather take a healthy Jason Kasdorf over almost any goaltender in the country. I mean, Kasdorf, I don't think he has to go out and earn the job back. I think he has to go out and prove to the coaching staff that he's ready to play on a daily basis, day in and day out.
But that being said,
correct.
Cam Hackett has certainly been an outstanding option for RPI.
Absolutely.
I think when Kasdorf got bowled over in Potsdam, that pit that came to the stomach of a lot of RPI fans was understandable. I mean, he has proven really to be an elite goaltender. A lot of that stems from his freshman year, where he was really the rock that RPI needed to finish second in the ECAC that season. But he's really struggled the last 2 years with injuries. He lost pretty much his entire sophomore season to an injury to his shoulder. He missed a significant chunk last year. and then I don't want to say he was rushed back, but you could tell that RPI needed to have him back there, and he may not have been 100% by the time he was back in the net, and that kind of led him to struggle when he returned. I think that's a big part of the reason why we haven't seen Kasdorf back. We heard pretty quickly after that injury to RPI senior Jason Kasdorf that he was going to be available if needed. It was thought the next night in St. Lawrence that he might dress. He didn't end up dressing, but the injury was deemed that it wasn't bad enough that it was definitely going to be out. And then since that weekend, we've had Kasdorf dressed for pretty much every game. He went on the road with the team to Notre Dame. He has dressed here at the Fieldhouse several times, but hasn't gotten back into it. I think you're absolutely right that Seth Appert really just wants to make sure that his top guy is ready to go and ready to perform at the top of his game, because I feel like last year, if he came back and wasn't 100%, was a little bit uncomfortable, that's when goaltenders especially are going to get into bad rhythms. They start giving up goals that they wouldn't normally because they're uncomfortable, and then that helps develop bad habits that they carry on even when they get healthy. So a really good strategy now for RPI when it comes to Jason Kasdorf is to just play it by ear. As long as Cam Hackett's playing well, let him continue to play in there, and then to get Kasdorf back in there when it makes sense for him and when it makes sense for the team.
Yeah, and Cam Hackett's more than admirable, and it gives Jason Kasdorf a chance too to see the ice from a different perspective, and he gets better on the ice seeing the situations before. I mean, from the bench, yeah, you want to be out there playing, but you get a different perspective when you're on the bench compared to on the ice, and you can see plays and what you should do and the mistakes that Hackett is making. So if he's in the same situation coming back in the game, he doesn't make that same mistake, and it can only make Kasdorf better.
Absolutely, and when Kasdorf comes back, you want him to be in the right mindset and ready to play to what is 100% for him.
All right, so that will do it for the second intermission. We'll be back in a few minutes. Perry will come back for the third period. Score after one period of play is Dartmouth 1, RPI 1.
2 periods of play.
2 periods of play, yeah. Sorry. Dartmouth 1, RPI 1. You're listening to live coverage of Engineering Hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI, Troy.
Elsewhere in the ECAC tonight, midway through the third period, it's Quinnipiac 2, Yale 0. Early in the third, Princeton 3, Brown 2. Late in the second period, Colgate 1, Clarkson 0. Line rank after 2, it's Orlando 2, St. Lawrence 0. And middle of the second period, it's Schenectady Harvard 2, Union 1.
Dartmouth Fieldhouse here on the campus of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York, as we get set to bring you the third period of action between the RPI Engineers and the Dartmouth Big Green. Score after 2 periods play is RPI 1 and Dartmouth 1. My name's Tom Reel. I'm joined by Perry Lascaris, and you're listening to all of this on your home for Engineers Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Before we get started with the third period, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union. They provide the funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. As a reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org and pick up WRPI's broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as WRPI is broadcasting. We provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, it is WRPI.org. Out-of-town scoreboard in the ECAC. Middle of the third period between Quinnipiac and Yale. It's a high-powered Southern Connecticut battle. The Bobcats have a 2-0 lead on the Bulldogs in that game from New Haven, Connecticut. Princeton has a 3-2 lead over Brown in Providence early in the third period in that one. Colgate leads Clarkson 1-0 late in the second period. Cornell leads St. Lawrence 2-0 from Liner Rink in Ithaca. That game is just about to get started in the third period. And across the way in Schenectady, the Harvard Crimson with a 2-1 edge over the Union Dutchmen. That game midway through the second period.
Getting set here for the third, 1-1 RPI and Dartmouth. Shots are even. This game doesn't get much closer than this. Faceoffs are 26-19 in favor of the Big Green. As we drop the puck on period number 3, Engineers have it in their own zone. We are skating 5 aside to begin the third. Tightly contested game as we expected here, although we didn't know exactly what to expect from Dartmouth. They've been pretty impressive. Here's a backhand shot over the top of the net by Patterson. Kind of just lofted that one up in the air. And Hackett didn't see it real well. Off the far boards now is, again, a shot by Patterson, trickling just wide. It caroms around behind the goal. Prapavesis, stick handling out to center ice, turns it into a Liljegren turns into a 3-on-2, but he skates behind the net with it. Allows some teammates as well as the Big Green to catch up. Shearhorn clearing to center. And out of play, we'll have a stoppage.
Early here, still in the third period, 19-11 remaining in regulation. RPI and Dartmouth tied at 1. Perry, as you mentioned, doesn't get much closer than this. I guess the only real edge that either team has right now is that Dartmouth had 3 power plays against RPI's 1, but neither team's been able to score on the man advantage in this game. So paper-thin difference between these two teams through 2 periods.
Melanson along the near wall, moved out to center. O'Brien on the stick handle. He'll just play it in. Around the behind the goal, Parker Reno up the near side boards. Melanson picking up speed through neutral ice. Into the attacking zone, takes a hit there, but gets it in deep for Miller. Miller goes down in the corner. Melanson trying to dig it out of there. Pass intercepted by O'Brien again. Out to center, swatted right back into Dartmouth territory. 3 Engineers need to touch up, they do, but the puck in deep. Shoup claims it for Dartmouth. Out to center they come. As it's chipped in by the Big Green. Wrap it around near side by the Engineers. Too far for Bourbonnais, but it's all the way out of the zone. Tour has it there. Shoots it around into the RPI territory once more in the near corner. They dig away. In the air, glove down behind the net by Parker Reno. Up the far boards, off the skate of Wood, and carried in by Schrader. Engineers are onside. Puck in deep for Wood, looking to center, swatted right back to Wood. He's behind the net again. Jake Wood behind the cage, looking to get away. Wraparound try, loose in front, trying to find it Bourbonnais. He'll turn and shoot. The puck never got to goal. Clearing effort by Nickerson out to center. Engineers have it there, it's Bradley. Far side, Prapavesis into the offensive zone. He's tied up. Prapavesis trying to one-handed further to Wood. Broken up there, Schrader playing the point. Keeps it in for a second. Second effort by Prapavesis out to center. Nickerson plays it there. Engineers back to their own zone. And a long outlet pass near side, broken up by Barry. Controlled by Bullock now. He'll turn it up ice with some help from Neely. Neely into the offensive zone, far side. Bradley takes a look around. He gets undercut there by Hessler. Now Hessler jumps on it. Looking for the wrap. Near side Bullock passes in his skates, not on his stick. He wasn't able to get the shot off. Tie up near corner now, RPI zone. Barry Taken over by Hessler. A tight angle shot here by Neely, high off the glass. Comes down off the dasher in the far boards. Pinching in was Hartley. And good play to just use his body there. Gillespie plays it off the far boards now into Dartmouth territory. Bullock takes over there. Indirect off the back wall, leave it for Hartley. Hartley, some pressure from Gillespie, but Hartley skates through it. Up ahead for Neely into the offensive zone. Gets rubbed off the puck by Wilson. Gillespie, far side, near side, Wilson. Stick handling, lost it. Fed back up the near boards. Chopped back the other way by Wilson. And it'll go trickling into Dartmouth territory. Picked up there by Shoup. Shoup behind his own goal. Some pressure comes in the form of Alex Rodriguez. Yao now, near side off the glass. Out to center. Picked up by Wilson. Milos Babella has the lone RPI goal, his third of the year. Fed near side for Liljegren. Liljegren crosses center and dumps it in. We're 4 minutes into the third period. 1-1 RPI in Dartmouth. ECAC hockey action from the Houston Fieldhouse in Troy, New York. Taken over by Shearhorn to center. Kept in by the boot of Moore. Yao down low with it. He gets hooked a bit by Rodriguez. Plays it far side for Patterson. Knocked down by Babella. Played on further to the corner. Liljegren. Stick handling. Fed in front. Moore walking in. Move it to his backhand. He can't control. Near side Liljegren. To the circle Babella. Penalty coming up here on Dartmouth. And they're going to blow this one down. It's going to be a hooking call to go on the Big Green. The Engineers putting the pressure on and force the penalty here in the third period.
Early whistle there as the puck had only just bounced off of the skate of a Big Green player. I think that was Krema. They're supposed to have possession. It would have bounced right to Mears Moore deep in the zone. So kind of a lucky break there for Dartmouth to get the penalty called when it was, as RPI had the extra skater coming on as well. It is a hooking call against Opperman. So a big power play opportunity now for the Engineers. They did look good on their first opportunity, but they are 0 for 1 so far on the man advantage tonight.
Draw here, RPI offensive zone. Orval, far side, one-timer save. Rebound loose in the circle. And they battle for the puck, and it trickles to the near corner. Hartley there, trying to backhand it out of the zone, and he does, all the way down. Skips in, wide of goal, played by the goalie stick of Hackett. He'll hold it and play it far side. Nearly a giveaway in the middle of the ice. Poked right back into the corner. Hackett didn't know what to do with it. Had a couple of options to pass to, and probably made the wrong one, but the Engineers move it back the other way anyway. Prapavesis now back to the point. Orval, far side. Wilson thought about a one-timer, holds it there. Near point, Orval. Far side circle. Walking it in Melanson. A shot. That one's blocked. Rebound cleared to the point. Kept in. Rolling puck by Wilson. Far side, Prapavesis at the hash marks. Fed to the near point. Coming over to play it is Melanson. He'll play it up the wall for Orval. Played it right back, and it's between the two defensemen and out to center. It'll be controlled there. And back up ice they come. It's the Engineers shooting it in. Melanson will ring it in. Far side, Shoup. In the air, glove down, knocked down by Bourbonnais. Bourbonnais corrals it. Top of the far circle. They back off a bit. Shot coming, Bourbonnais. Loose in the near circle. And Dartmouth's going to be able to clear. 46 seconds to go on the power play. Hackett out of his net. He'll leave it aside for more. 1-1 RPI in Dartmouth. Friday night action here. Engineers take on number 8 Harvard in a rematch of last Saturday's Shillelagh Tournament final. Tomorrow night at 7 here. Here's Babella out of the near corner. Fed on further for Wood. To the far side, half wall. Wood, fanned on the pass, gets it right back. He'll play it down low for Babella. Back to Wood at the far side circle. To the point for Hampton, right back to Wood. Down low, 18 seconds to go in the power play. Bourbonnais has now Babella posting up in front of the net. Bourbonnais all the way around to the near point for Hampton. Far point Moore. Far circle now, Wood. Wood holding, waiting, carrying to the center. Down low for Bourbonnais. 5 seconds to go in the power play. Shot coming, blocked in front. And waiting is Nickerson. He'll fire it all the way down. And right after, or right before, I should say, the penalty expired. So no icing. Engineers 0 for on the power play so far today. That being 0 for 2. Dartmouth 0 for 3. Puck in deep. Moore in the corner. Cycling for Nanny. Nanny trying to hand it off for Miller. Nanny's all tied up behind the net, and that'll allow Dartmouth to move it out to center. Mishandled by Neely. Engineers take over in their own zone. Bradley up the near boards. Into Dartmouth territory, but the Engineers are offside.
You got to give a lot of respect to Dartmouth for their abilities along the boards in this game. RPI's only goal came when they moved the puck efficiently along the boards, but it was also because a Dartmouth defenseman caught an edge, took himself out of the play, and you could really tell the difference because pretty much this whole game, the Big Green have denied RPI the use of the side boards to move the puck up ice.
Engineers keep it in along the far point. Now it's played out to center for O'Brien. In his skates, moving into RPI territory. Prapavesis takes a look around, feeds it far side, a little bit of room for Bradley. Down the middle, pass looking for Orval, intercepted by Jacek. Turning is Hartley in his own zone. Carrying up the far side, crossing center and shooting it down. They'll say he did, in fact, cross center. It was close at the red line. Puck back out to center. Carried on by Victor Liljegren. Stops at the point. Carries center ice. Fed towards goal. That wrong-footed the netminder. Buffalo, luckily for him, he steered it to the corner. Now another shot from the point. Karam's high off the glass behind the Dartmouth cage. And now moved on out to center by Bly. Cross ice feed, Kalk. Intercepted by Reno. Poked free by Nickerson. Loose at center ice. Played near side for Yao. And Yao will just cross center, chip it across the RPI line. Wilson has two Big Green to tango with. Shot off the mask of Hackett to the near corner. Quick little one-timer play. Nearly benefited the Big Green there. Right back to the RPI line, far side. Kalk drop past Nickerson. Down low. Wilson has his man all tied up and knocked the net off. Dartmouth fans want a penalty there. I think it was Crema or O'Brien. Looked like Troy Crema who got kind of roughed up there by Wilson without the puck, but nothing coming of it.
Wilson puts him into the cage. Gets the whistle. This is a big opportunity for Dartmouth now. They have the face-off coming up in the attacking zone, and RPI unable to change after the net comes off its moorings, and it was RPI's fault in their own zone, so they can't change.
Face-off, defensive zone win for the Engineers. Back to Reno, up the boards and out to center for Wood. They wave off the icing early, so the Engineers can get a change here. 11.5 to go in the third period. 1-1 RPI in Dartmouth. Big Green start from behind their own net. It's Jeff Ferguson. Up the boards, far side for Jacek and into RPI territory. Shot around by Moore. Too far for Rodriguez, kept in by Tour. Knocked down in the circle. A chance here. Walking in, a shot by Patterson, and he scores. Plenty of room in the far circle. And it's Brett Patterson, the senior from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, who gives Dartmouth a 2-1 lead.
And you have to give a lot of credit to Tour on that one. Remember, he was the Dartmouth defenseman that fell down, giving RPI the opportunity to break that led to their only goal so far. It's one of those plays where you just manage to keep the puck in the zone and you can make good things happen. Tour knocked that down at the blue line and then sent it back down in for the offense to attack, and Patterson found his seam to make it 2-1 Big Green.
Engineers get it deep. Bullock around far side for Hartley. Up the boards now. Barry feeding Bullock. Lots of room to work. A slapper save, Hackett. Rebound loose, and it's cleared out of the zone. Patterson's goal is his second of the season. We have a whistle here and an offside call. Stopping play.
Scoring for Dartmouth, even strength goal at 8:51 of the third period. Third goal of the game makes it 2-1 in favor of Dartmouth. Goal scored by Brett Patterson. As you mentioned, this is Perry, his second of the year. Assists to Grant Opperman and to Karn Tour for the freshman Tour out of Surrey, British Columbia. That is his first collegiate point. So two Big Green players getting their first collegiate points on their two goals.
Back the other way come the Engineers. Bobella shot ricochets in the air off the glass behind the goal. Played around to the near corner. Liljegren gets run into by Rodriguez. Liljegren wraparound try. That one's broken up. He gets right back on it in the far circle, trying to stick handle through some legs. That's broken up by Jacek. And Engineers will have to restart in their own end. Prapavesis near side. Up the boards, poked along by Rodriguez. In deep. Stopped there by Buffalo. That'll allow Dartmouth to regather. Move it into RPI territory near side. Centering pass, a chance for Crema, and a save made by Hackett. That was a breakaway from about the hash marks in, as Crema just kind of snuck in behind the RPI defense. Now Bourbonnais back the other way, in on goal. Saved by Buffalo, cleared to the near point and out to center ice. Wilson has some pressure from Crema. He gets upended on his way into the zone. Now Crema's offside. He'll have to touch up. We've had some borderline calls both ways, not being called, I should say, here in this period. Letting him play. His Crema will sweep it into the zone far side. Picked up there by Reno. Around on the near side corner for Wilson. Wilson up the boards for Bourbonnais. Bourbonnais takes a look around, fed on further. Good connection to Schrader. Schrader into the offensive end. Has Wood going to the net. Takes a shot, saved by Buffalo. And then Wood runs his man right into the post. And that's Shoup, and he's wondering why there's no penalty there.
Fairly quiet RPI Fieldhouse here with 9:16 left in the third period. That's because Dartmouth has taken a 2-1 lead, really just by some sheer stick-to-itiveness in their attacking zone. And now the challenge is on RPI to recover from this, start setting something up themselves. They have an opportunity now with the face-off in the Big Green end, just to the left. That is the glove side on Devin Buffalo.
Big collision behind the Dartmouth goal. Penalty upcoming. It's going to go on the Engineers' Lou Nanny. As Patterson has it there, played it back, and he'll touch the puck. Nanny may have taken the worst of the hit in the end, but the Engineers are going to go on the kill here.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I didn't see the play in question,
It was away from the puck.
But from the look and the sound of things, it was Nanny who bore the brunt of it. He's favoring his arm. Now the referees are huddling now. I don't know if they're trying to decide whether they want to call this or not. Nanny is standing at the RPI bench near the door. He's probably waiting to see if he's going to go into the trainer or go into the penalty box. Suppose even if it is on him, he could go back to see the trainer and have somebody serve the penalty.
Anyway, big decision here with 9:02 left in the third period. The Engineers down a goal.
Calling a hit from behind, or a check from behind if it's of the minor variety.
Right.
We'll see who it's on. They haven't indicated either way. Both the captains are talking to Tom Steinel, one of the goaltenders. One of the referees. They're calling it. Wow.
That'll do it.
So a 5-minute penalty to Lou Nanny and a game misconduct. Boy, I don't know about that one.
I wish I had seen it, because I really can't comment. It was away from the puck. I didn't see it at all. I just heard the collision and looked over.
Yeah, it was difficult to get a handle on it. Unfortunately, we don't have replay here this evening.
No. They just have this.
It did look, based on where the two players were, it seemed like he might have gotten a whole lot of nothing from the sound of things and whatnot. I can't say that for sure, but wow. That's a major penalty, literally a major penalty. Major decision here, because there's only 9:02 left in the third period, which means RPI is going to be killing this penalty for much of the rest of regulation, and they're already down a goal. This is also the third consecutive game in which the Engineers have drawn a major penalty in a game misconduct, so the penalty problems continue for RPI.
Puck out to center. Engineers virtually killed off one against Western Michigan, in which they gave up a very odd goal in their own undoing, I guess you could say, to give up a goal on that power play, and it really cost them the shutout in the game. But neither here nor there. We have 8:36 left in this one, and over half of it will be power play time for the Big Green. Opperman, near side, takes the hit from Babella. Could really use some more of that shorthanded Babella magic in this game. He already has one goal. It was even strength. Behind the net, stopped up by Tim Shoup. Good connection. Here's Bly into the RPI zone. Takes a wrist shot. Blocker stopped by Hackett. To the far side of the zone. Reno has it pinned against the boards. Wilson trying to dig it out of there. Poke check by Wilson. Up the wall. Orval trying to clear. Make it Wilson rather. Wilson trying to force it out to center ice. Loose puck there. Stolen away by Bly. He'll play it over to Bullock. Under 4 minutes left in this major penalty to Lou Nanny. 7:42 left in the third. Stick handling along the line. Bullock took a lot of time there. Slowed up all of his teammates. All four of his teammates were essentially standing on the blue line. There's a shot saved by Hackett and went through his legs, but trickles to the near corner. Bullock now down low. Gets it back there. Now center blue line. Hartley gets it back from Bullock. Hartley again. The lines up a slapper. No. One-timer coming. Saved by Hackett. He holds on. He went left to right. Just dropped Troy Crema, from the far circle.
3:15 left on the penalty to Nanny, which is being served by Kenny Gillespie. So far, so good for the RPI penalty kill, both tonight and on this major kill, but still the lion's share of it to go, and they're going to need to get out of this one if they're going to maintain their unbeaten ECAC record.
Back to the point now. Near side, Bullock. Center blue line, Hartley. Far side now. Connected to Kalk, down low. Dartmouth trying to put the finishing touches on this one. They lead by a single goal. 7 minutes to go in the third period. Another 3 minutes on this major power play. Major penalty. Far side point now. Hartley, near point Bullock. Fakes a shot. Gets some pressure from Schrader. Fed towards goal. Deflected over the top of the net. Kalk picks it up there. Back to the near point for Bullock. Far point Hartley. To the circle now. Crema, centering pass. One-timer over the top. Took a deflection on his way through. Back to the near point now, Bullock. Far point, Hartley. Wrist shot coming off the skate of Bradley to the far side. Bradley trying to jump on it. Loose puck, Babella trying to force his way onto it. Clears it out to center, trying to glove it down. Schrader, he'll break out short-handed. One-on-one with the defender. Schrader pulls it back, takes a shot. Save made by Buffalo, and he'll get the whistle. Good effort by this penalty-killing unit for the Engineers, not only denying much for Dartmouth, but turning it into a potential scoring chance the other way.
RPI has an aggressive penalty kill to start with, and they certainly can afford to be a little aggressive on this one as well, since they will not have much time remaining after they kill this penalty off. So it's incumbent on them to try and get their scoring opportunities where they can find them.
Back comes Dartmouth the other way. Patterson near side for Bly. They're offside at the line. 6:07 left in this third period. 2 minutes left in the major penalty to Nanny. Shots are 30-25 Dartmouth.
And that's a good indication, really, of how this period's gone, too. It hasn't been overwhelming, but Dartmouth has been the aggressors. They do have the lone goal here in the third period. 1 goal per period. First and third went to Dartmouth, and the second went for the Engineers. So all of the all the goals in this game have been scored down on the same end of the ice.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
Near side, neutral zone. Bly has it back to his own zone for Patterson. And now into the attack is Bly. Gets hit by Reno. Engineers clear. In on goal, played by Buffalo. Melanson coming flying in on the shorthanded. He'll just play it around to the corner, does Buffalo. Or at least forces the Big Green to muddle with the puck behind their own goal for a little bit longer, and they continue to do so. Seemingly just wasting time now to run off the rest of this clock. Now they break out to center. Bly, far side into the attacking zone. Opperman playing it down low, looking for Shearhorn. Brad Shearhorn wraps around for Shoup. Shoup takes a hit from Wood. Bradley off the wall. Opperman now back to the point. Shoup. Far side point, Patterson. The centerman playing at the defensive spot on this power play. Played around behind in the near corner. Wood has a chance to look up ice. Has a couple players breaking. They find Prapavesis with Miller into the attacking zone. Prapavesis in, finding Wood. Shot off a skate. Shoup got in the way. Wood really wanted that puck. He came flying into the zone. He was calling for it. Bouncing puck in the slot, played by Opperman. 48 seconds to go on this power play. Jake Wood has that other shorthanded goal for RPI as Opperman takes a hit from Schrader. Into the offensive zone. Has Crema breaking, finds him. Shot! Save by Hackett. It's between the pads and he'll hold on.
RPI's penalty kill continues to be a big part of their game. They were perfect on Saturday night despite the 4-0 loss to Harvard last weekend. And they're 36 seconds away from killing off another major penalty. And they've certainly had their fair share of penalty killing time in these last 2 games, but so far they haven't allowed a power play goal.
Bullock near point, holding. Far side. Pull it up. Bullock from Hartley. A wrister. Saved by Hackett. Rebound looking for the jam try. No. Hackett way out of position, but he gets some help from the defense, forcing the play wide to the far corner. Now a centering pass. Knocked down. Bullock a shot. Saved by Hackett. Loose, and the Engineers clear. 17 seconds to go as the crowd erupts in that penalty killing effort. Still 12 seconds to go on it. Hartley quickly up ice. Into the offensive zone as a man breaking his Crema. Crema can't get his stick on the pass. It comes all the way through to the near corner. 4 minutes to go here. The Engineers are just about killed it off. They do. Still in the attack. Hartley in towards Crema. Shot coming. Hackett makes the save around to the far corner. Liljegren pinches his man to the wall, and the Engineers look to break. Far side pass too far for the intended target Melanson. Shot back to center into the Dartmouth bench. Face-off coming in the Dartmouth zone. And there's 3:46 left. The Engineers do kill it off, and they're down a goal.
Now we see if they can turn this major penalty kill into some momentum. I was talking about it earlier, how penalty kills themselves can swing momentum. When you're down a goal, you come up with a big 5-minute stop. Now it's time for the Engineers offense to go to work. They did have a couple of shorthanded opportunities, so they were still being aggressive, but they've got to be even more aggressive now on the puck.
Barry into the offensive zone for Dartmouth. Hands it off there for Neely. Far side, pinned against the boards. Hessler throwing his body around. Now Bradley dumps Barry in the far corner. Puck still loose in RPI territory, far corner. 3:25 to go. The Engineers down a goal. Bouncing puck in the far circle, picked up by Jesper Orvold. He scoops it high in the air out to center, bouncing puck near side, controlled there by Shoup, fires it off the boards. Engineers pick it up in their own zone. Now Lildgren gets into it with Barry. Has to control himself here. Don't want to take another penalty here. Severely hinder RPI's comeback chances. Prapavessis into the zone. Lildgren pulls it back, takes the shot, save, rebound loose, and it's covered by Buffalo. Dartmouth not happy about the Engineers crashing the net, but when your goaltender coughs it up like that, you have to expect the other team will be coming.
Engineers have had 24 minutes of penalty kill time between the last game and this one, and they haven't given up a power play goal in that time period. They sort of can get that back to the third game as well, but they did technically give up a power play goal when they banked it into their own net against Western Michigan.
That counted.
Just a reminder, you're listening to live coverage of Engineers Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. My name's Tom Reel. I'm joined by Perry Lascaris for RPI in Dartmouth.
Shot from the point by Wilson, deflects off a couple of skates, but goes behind the goal. Wood there, trying to get through a check to the far side. Engineers getting roughed up a bit here, but they stay on the puck. Bourbonnais into the slot, turning, shooting wide of goal. To the near side corner it goes. Krema trying to clear. Bourbonnais knocks it down the line, but it's cleared out to center. Now a 2-on-1 chance. Nickerson in. Reno, the lone Engineer, back. He looked to shoot far post and missed the goal. Kept in far side by O'Brien. In behind the RPI net. 2.5 to go in the third. Bullock in on goal, and Hackett has it between the pads somehow. That was an awkward stop on a shot that came from behind the goal.
Dangerous 2-on-1 opportunity for the Big Green there, and Parker Reno needs to.
In his pad, wow.
Needs to get. Wow, that was pretty impressive.
It was in his leg pad.
But Parker Reno needs to make sure that he's taking away the pass when he's the one back there on that 2-on-1. Instead, he was moving towards the player with the puck and almost inadvertently screened his own goaltender in the process. You got to let your goaltender deal with the guy with the puck.
2:26 to go. 2-1 Dartmouth. Offensive zone face-off win for the Big Green. Hartley down low. Prapavessis cuts it off behind the cage. Shearhorn intercepts now. He'll play it down low further. Wrapping it on the cycle for Opperman. Bradley trying to get there. Patterson throws it on goal. Hackett's going to cover here and get a whistle. 2:08 to go. Engineers have never led in this game. Dartmouth maintains its 2-1 lead.
We saw against New Hampshire how RPI was able to get to the end of their game without having to play a lot of defense just by keeping the puck in the offensive zone, and that's what Dartmouth has done for this last 45 seconds or so. Time is getting very late, but Dartmouth maintaining possession is doing the job for them.
In the slot, turning and shooting. Loose puck picked up. Engineers have it there, never got to Hackett. Cleared out towards center ice, too far for Lildgren. They wave off the icing. Far corner, Hartley takes a look up ice. We'll keep an eye on Hackett. Bouncing puck in the top of the Dartmouth zone. They carry it on. Bullock into the offensive end. Takes a shot, goes wide. He has to be careful here. He's defenseman caught up ice, although his teammates do a good job of backing things up for him. Lildgren now to center for Melanson. Trying to pick up speed in the offensive zone. He gets rubbed off the play by Bullock, and they continue to go at it behind the goal. Bouncing puck there. Shoup lost it. Picked up Babella in the corner. Empty net for the Engineers. Shot right through the top of the crease. Picked up near side for Hampton. Minute 25 to go. 6 skaters on for the Engineers. Lildgren to the point for more. Lildgren in the slot. A shot. Save made. Rebound. No. As Buffalo has it between the pads. And it's lucky he did because Melanson was the only one on the doorstep.
Devin Buffalo is playing very well in this game. It's kind of hard to believe that he's a sophomore, and this is only his second game, and his first game was last weekend, where he turned in another good performance against a Michigan team that had defeated Dartmouth 7-0 the previous night. He was able to hang in there and get the tie. Now he's 116 away from his first collegiate victory if he can hang on here, RPI with the extra skater and the faceoff coming up in the Dartmouth zone following the RPI timeout, which is coming up right now.
It's really hard to tell. I mean, I don't remember who it was, but it seems like it is either James Kruger or Charles Grant. It seems like it's always kind of a revolving door in the Dartmouth goaltender situation. I know Seth touched on it in the pregame interview, but either one of them, Grant or Kruger or whoever it may be, someone's always seemingly getting hot for this team and carrying them for long stretches of the season.
Yeah, Bob Gaudette's not one to eschew who is in the net as long as they've got the hot hand. That's something that's come up for RPI recently with Cam Hackett playing very well and Jason Kasdorf getting back to 100% health-wise. But sometimes you just got to go with the guy who's winning you games, and it doesn't get much worse than losing 7-0. I don't care who you're playing. So Buffalo had the opportunity on the road to play his first game, did very well. So why not throw him back out here in league play, see what happens? And so far for Dartmouth, it's paid off. You know, you don't get into a Division I school without having some capability in the net if you're a goaltender. You know, I don't suspect he was brought in here to be a practice goaltender, and he's certainly proved himself up to the task so far here this evening. Has 23 saves on 24 shots, and he's very, very close to picking up his first collegiate win.
Draw here, far side of the Dartmouth zone. 6 skaters out there for RPI with an empty net. And now we get a whistle here. And it's Ryan Knapp, the linesman, saying that the Engineers, or at least the guys on the far side of the circle, the outside of the circle, are encroaching. Defensive zone face-off win for the Big Green. Prapavessis pinching in along the wall. Keeps it in the corner. Pinned up there. Cleared towards the blue line and out to center. Bly has a chance at an empty net. Making a move. Knocked down by Bradley with the glove. He was playing goalie at the blue line and broke it up. Now a race for the puck picked up by Babella. 55 seconds to go. Babella from behind his own goal. Stick handling through the neutral zone. Milos Babella all the way into the offensive end. Still Babella into the far side corner. Down low, centering it all the way through. Bradley keeps it in at the point. Holding it, firing it towards goal. Deflected off the side of the cage. 37 seconds to go. Race for the puck in the near corner. Chopped down low. Picked up there by Bullock. He'll help it to the far side. Pinching in Prapavessis with 30. He'll let it run. Far side Liljegren. Holding, shooting, deflected wide. Clearing effort. Will it leave the zone? Yes. Will it be icing? No. 20 seconds to go. Picked up by Bradley. He'll fire it near side. Not enough on the pass. Coming back to help out Orval. Glove down by Bradley. 12 seconds to go. Up the near side boards. Trying to tip it into the zone. No. Helped on further. An empty net attempt off the post. Rebound swept away. 1 second. And that will do it. Dartmouth holds on here. They nearly bag an empty netter. They hit the post in the final 30 seconds. But it is a 2-1 win for Dartmouth. They pick up their 3rd league win. And the Engineers fall for the first time in conference play.
And just to show you how tight things are at the top of the ECAC right now, RPI with this loss is going to fall into at least 3rd place, if not 4th, the way things are playing out around the league. At least as it is right now. Quinnipiac has already defeated Yale 3-0, so that puts Quinnipiac in first place by themselves. They have been tied with RPI coming into this evening. So with the loss, RPI is unable to pick up more points. Quinnipiac goes up 2. Cornell is very close to knocking off St. Lawrence at home, so they'll move in front of the Engineers. And after 2 periods in Schenectady, it's 3-2 Union, so Union may be doing RPI a favor tonight if they can hold off Harvard, but they're also a team that can pass RPI. It's a tight league. The league is doing very well outside the conference, which means that that RPI has played well enough, both within the conference and some games outside the conference, to be in the extremely early national discussion, but they still have to be able to get the job done in what is shaping up to be a really, really difficult top to bottom conference, one of the best in the NCAA. That means it's going to be war night in and night out. Can't take shifts off. Unfortunately, I think RPI's sloppy first period really coming back to bite them in the end. Only able to get 1 goal in on a really dynamite performance by Devin Buffalo, who picks up his first collegiate goal. I'm sorry, his first collegiate win. 2 Dartmouth players picking up their first collegiate points as well. So a young team that showed that it has some fire in the belly, showing here that they're starting to overcome a tough start to their season pretty much across the board. But as we talked about before, they had a pretty tough schedule coming in as well. this league is not going to have any breaks in it. We saw that when Brown was here. They were not a team that was expected to do well this season. They came in here and were able to salvage a tie against the Engineers. And now Dartmouth, the team that's struggled at times on both sides of the ice this season, able to come into the fieldhouse and pick up a victory. So there are no easy games in the ECAC in a typical season, and this year may be more true than ever. RPI's got a tough task to try to bounce back from this one and take on a very high-powered Harvard team that is itself having problems tonight in Schenectady. So it's rarely easy to predict winners and losers in the ECAC, but it seems like this season the league's not only full of really good teams, any single one of them could win on any given night, Perry.
No, that's certainly the case. And what we saw tonight, didn't know a whole lot to what expect from this Dartmouth squad. We knew they'd play some tough competition throughout this first few games of the year, and they didn't disappoint. They're a solid club. They don't seem too young just looking at the roster, but when they see who's out there making the plays, there's a lot of young players that
they're kind of taking that brass ring,
right,
for sure.
Exactly.
So it's like I just said, it's not quite a crapshoot, but it's it's going to be tough to figure out on any given night who's going to be doing what with anything. Colgate was supposed to be real strong this season. They've struggled. Princeton's beating Brown right now, so at some point you just throw up your hands and say that anything can happen in this league, and anything will happen.
I'll quickly run down the scoring here, and Tom will come up with his offensive and defensive engineers of the game. Scoring started back in the first period, 13:25. It was Carl Hessler from Kevin Neely and Jack Barry. And it 1-0 to the visitors, and Milos Bubella picking up his third of the year from Alex Rodriguez and Mike Prapavesis, 11:52 of the second. 8:51 of the third period. The eventual game-winning goal was scored by Brett Patterson with assists to Grant Opperman and Karn Tour. Tom.
Well, offensively for RPI, I think there's a couple of plays that really typified the way that Mike Prapavesis played tonight, and he's really starting to come out and be that type of offensive defenseman that we were expecting from the get-go last season. He's really starting to shine for RPI. 4 assists in the last 3 games, including having a hand in 4 of the last 5 RPI goals in those games. So his vision back there to be able to distribute the puck pretty much where it needs to be has been a big reason why RPI's offense has been improved this season. And it was his kind of vision here in this game that got RPI their only goal of the outing, to see the open ice, to see the man moving up ice in Alex Rodriguez. And really everything kind of came together from there. Rodriguez ended up putting it off the goaltender, and Milos Bubella picked up the garbage. Bubella as well had a pretty solid game. Late in the game, he was able to go coast to coast and create an opportunity really all by himself. Wasn't able to put it home, but I think realistically, when Mike Prapavesis is playing well offensively, the Engineers have probably their best opportunity that they're going to have to win the game. And he was on today. He was not the reason that the Engineers weren't able to put the puck in the net. We can lay a lot of that at the feet of Devin Buffalo. So Mike Prapavesis, my RPI offensive player of the game. As far as defense is concerned, I really like the way Jared Wilson's able to get himself in front of the net and makes stops almost like a second goaltender sometimes. He's able to put himself in a position where he's playing good defense without screening Cam Hackett. That allows the Engineers to have kind of that second body in front. He gets a lot of his block shots simply by being right there in front of the puck and really just deflecting the puck in the same way that a goaltender would. Standing in front of the net and looking outwards, seeing where the shot is coming from, and just kind of keeping the puck down and away from danger. Jerry Wilson did a tremendous job of doing that tonight. And, you know, when he's playing well, he's realistically one of the best two-way defensemen in this league. As long as he can kind of put it together and keep it together for 60 full minutes, there aren't that many who can do it better than him. That's pretty much what he was brought in here to do, and the stats here bear this out. He had 5 shots on goal for the Engineers, which led the team. So going both ways with it, Jared Wilson Had another strong night. Really the only thing you can knock him on, he did take 2 penalties for 4 minutes. And the Engineers were able to kill off that power play as well as the other power plays that they had to kill here. They were 3 for 3 on the kill. Actually, I should read 4 for 4 on the kill because he killed off a penalty to Kenny Gillespie earlier, and they also had the major penalty to Lou Nanny to kill off. So the penalty kill, not much wrong with that, but still some work to do when it comes to staying out of the box. The only thing I can really knock Jared Wilson for is the penalties, but a lot of it comes out of just playing a more physical game. And you're going to draw penalties when you do that, but that's also a good way to play some good defense. So congratulations, Jared Wilson, my RPI Defensive Player of the Game. Just taking another quick look around the ECAC before we say our goodbyes. Princeton has defeated Brown 4-2. They are midway through the 3rd period in Hamilton. Colgate and Clarkson are tied at 1. Final from Ithaca. Cornell has beaten St. Lawrence 2-1. Union now has a 4-3 lead over Harvard with 16:33 left to play in the 3rd period in Schenectady, and Quinnipiac has a 3-0 lead over Yale. So the way that shakes out the ECAC standings as they look right now, Quinnipiac has moved into first place by themselves with 12 points. Cornell has moved past RPI as well. They have 11 points and are sitting in 2nd place. And RPI right now is in 3rd with 10 points. They're waiting to see the end result of that Harvard Union game. Should the Dutchmen emerge victorious, the Engineers will be by themselves in 3rd place heading into tomorrow night, 1 point ahead of their opponents from Harvard and 1 point behind the Cornell Big Red. They are now 2 points behind Quinnipiac in 1st place. So still hanging in there. We'll have to wait and see how that all shakes out. We'll get you caught up with that tomorrow night. Before we leave, we do like to thank everyone who's helped us get on the air. We apologize for the problems that we had during the intermissions, but we also want to be sure to thank DJ Scooter. Turn up that bass. Sounds of Now will be coming right up after hockey is done. We also like to thank the Rensselaer Union. They provide the funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. Just a reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org and pick up WRPI's broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as WRPI is broadcasting. We provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that is WRPI.org. Our next WRPI sports broadcast is tomorrow night here from the Houston Fieldhouse as the RPI Engineers take on the 8th-ranked Harvard Crimson. Puck drop for that game is 7 p.m., and we have an expected on-air time of 6:45. Perry Lascaris and Ed DeGarian on the call for that one. So for Perry Lascaris, my name is Tom Reel. Final score from Houston Fieldhouse here this evening. The Engineers fall for the first time in ECAC play this season. A 2-1 decision against the Dartmouth Big Green. You've been listening to live coverage of Engineers hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.